Hey Solar, how you doing? Good to see you. How have you been? Man, I've just been like off of Twitch for what feels like a month now. I just haven't really been watching anybody. I hope you're doing well, Solar. How you doing, Sokolis? Regen Sherm, welcome on in. We're gonna be doing a tournament today. Are you still doing chess? We're not doing chess to start. We're not doing chess to start on this one because it's we're doing a tournament. Kind of sick. Yes, we have we're gonna be doing something a little different today. We are going to be doing some esports commentary on the Super Auto Pets Custom Pack Invitational Tournament, which means that we're gonna be watching some of the best to ever do it go head to head. And, yeah, I'm just gonna be Peanut Gallery. And I will also be joined by Valerai, who is another member of the Super Auto Pets community. He's been commentating quite a few of these. So, yeah, we'll be with them. I might not be talking as much because, obviously, I'll be sharing the airtime with him, but I don't have any problem with that. Hopefully it all goes well. How you doing, Think Like? Welcome on in, Merper as well. I'm sorry you're still sick, Solar. I hope you're starting to feel a little better. I will have a very fun stream today. I'm quite excited. Let me just get the camera on. Finally, a good stream! How you doing, Walt? Welcome on in. But yeah, today we're just gonna sit back, relax, and let other people do the gaming for us. Oh my god, the lighting is truly awful. My room is like a lot darker right now because one of my lights went out. So that means my computer screen's doing a lot of the lighting, which is obviously causing me some problems. Just in time, we had a rough day yesterday and today. I'm sorry, Merper. Hope things can go a little better today. Also, Vito, how you doing? That's a name I'm always excited to see. Welcome on in. Welcome, welcome. All right, that's probably enough of that. I'm gonna go ahead and actually I won't introduce the bracket until I meet with Valerai here. Okay, so Valerai is in the casting booth. I'll be jumping in there in a moment. All right. Alrighty. Does this mute me? This button doesn't mute me. Oh god, what's my mute button? Chat, what's my mute button? I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. Something is up with your PSU. It has been acting up all day. PC randomly been losing power. Oh my god, that's awful, Vito. That's about as bad as it gets. Okay, I gotta quickly make a push to mute button, otherwise I'm gonna have a problem. It's numpad minus for toggle mute. Why is it numpad minus? That's like in no man's land. How the fuck was I ever supposed to hit that? I don't know. There we go. I think that's the button I want for it. Did you change anything on the inside? No. Oh, how you doing, Busty B? Thank you so much for the 15 months strengthening there, man. I appreciate that. Alrighty. I'm gonna go introduce myself to Valerai, the other commentator. So we're gonna be synergizing together, hopefully today, and making the best show possible for you all. Yeah, it should be pretty exciting. I found an Elden Ring item randomizer, and it is quite interesting. I saw Hyper playing with the randomizer. It looks pretty funny. Okay, so we're gonna jump on into the main screen here. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick introduction on what's going on. So this is gonna be a pools-based tournament. So here's how a pools tournament works, everybody. Pay attention. Pay attention here. You gotta listen. This is important. Otherwise, you're not gonna understand what's going on. So there's 4 pools of players, and each of them has 4 players. Okay, so there's 16 total players. Math checks out so far. There's 2 really good players and 2 slightly unproven players, but all these players are like some of the best players in the entire game. And that's per pool. Now, basically, what's going to happen is there's like a little grid system here that you can see. And basically, whoever comes out with the most wins wins out of the pools. That's how you get out of pools here. Now, if 2 players tie, they have to play a tiebreaker. And if 2 players tie and one player lost to the person in a tie, then they win automatically. How you doing, Tay? Welcome on in. I'm going to be jumping into the commentator's booth in just a moment. I'm just explaining all this because I'm assuming Valerai has already done all that. Which of those 2 are you? I'm not in the tournament. I am purely commentating this tournament. I'm far too rusty to put up a good fight, I would say. So some of the insane we'll go and talk about strategies in a moment, but yeah, we're going to be trying to cover as much of this as we can. I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the Discord room right now. Hello.
Hey, hello, Alias. Nice to meet you, man.
Yes, likewise. I'm excited to do this. It's been a while since I've done a commentary on the Super Auto Pets tournament, but yeah, I'm very excited because the new patch has been so interesting to look at and analyze.
Absolutely. I'm going to be quite unfamiliar with some things. I haven't been too up to date with the new pack, but when was the last commentation you did on a Super Autopets tournament?
Oh man, it was probably I think it was like the 3rd or 4th tournament Tay had hosted. So I've only ever joined 3 tournaments, but I got 2nd place in one. I made it to 3rd place in the other, and like 4th place when I did the doubles tournament with Caluresis. So I tend to place pretty well, but as you can see, they're trending downward because I don't have the ability to just go super hard on this game while I'm doing all that or a bunch of other stuff as well, right? But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I do have some insider information. I've actually gone and spoken with a player in the tournament who I think has a pretty good shot at winning, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of players in the tournament feel that way too. So I do have a bunch of info on what we're likely to see today, and there's some really interesting strategies that are going to be coming out, things that we haven't necessarily even considered at first, and it goes beyond just the simple strategies that are playing out on the surface level. It can go to the extreme where some of these players have learned to manipulate the RNG of the game to the point where their name is directly tied to the location of their units and what spawns out of them.
The amount of different decks and strategies are going to make my head spin, I'm absolutely sure. It's going to be wild. So you've gotten some insider information. Good. Nice. That might give us a good look at what's actually going on. Do you are streaming right now. Are you familiar with Video Ninja? Would you like to use that, if so?
I don't know what that is, but I think that if that's going to make the viewing easier for our viewers, and it's like a shared screen between us or something like that, I think that would help with our synergy, and that would be great for the viewership experience as well.
Yeah, it allows you to input someone else's camera as a browser source, I believe, so that we can have both people's webcams on the same screen, if that's something you're interested in.
Yeah, if you'd like to do that sounds good to me.
Gotcha. Let me get that set up so I can link it to you.
I'm getting information. Cassera says, yo, Alias, we can't abuse deterministic RNG because we have to make a new account every round. Okay. So you'd have to be able to, I don't know. So if they're making a new account every single round, they're going to have a very hard time abusing that sort of thing.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they need to pick up on stuff very, very quickly. I don't know if you can do it in a single round. Oh, it's not every round, Tay says. Only before each phase. Okay, interesting.
All right, I've sent you a DM with the
Yep.
link there.
I'm gonna go ahead and open her up.
The last time I used this, someone else set up everything for me, so hopefully I can figure out how to do it myself.
Okay, so I'm seeing I need a password.
Oh yes, that is just, I'll DM you the password.
Yep.
There we go.
I will not leak the password. Wow, that's a complex one. I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone will ever get it.
Okay. So I see join room with camera. I'm assuming that's what we're doing here.
Yes, should be.
Okay. Okay, interesting. So it's saying can't start video source, probably because I need to turn off the video source and then capture this, if I had to guess.
No, I don't think that. I think I'm setting it up incorrectly.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, it'll be fine. We do have the tournament starting in about 1 minute, I believe, though. So maybe
Yeah.
we'll get that going in a few minutes then.
Yeah, there will likely be some like in between. So who would you like to watch? How are we gonna do this? I think grabbing people in the Discord, because we were supposed to prioritize people who are not streaming to start.
Yeah, people who are not streaming is our priority. I have made sure to follow as many people as I could see who were streaming, so it should be easier to see.
Perfect.
I believe, yeah, no one said anything, so we can either, do we have the power? We can pull people in with us if that's something we want to do. Otherwise, we could join their channels, but it might be easier to pull them.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to make sure they're deafened so that way they can't hear our genius strategies.
True. Oh, we don't have the power to deafen people. Cringe.
We'll have to get Tay to give us that, or he'll have to deafen whoever we pull in. Now, are there any of these pools here? There's 4 different pools. Do any of these have no streamers in them whatsoever?
Yeah, Tyler has told me that one of the ones we should probably look for first is going to be Cleanup versus Onet. That is a very good game. I think that will be great to watch that no one is streaming.
Good. Okay, perfect. So, do you want to watch from Onet's perspective or Cleanup? Now, I've had some pretty crazy matches against both of them. I remember Cleanup having he's very, very good at abusing whatever is the best at the meta. And with the whole deck building aspect, it's going to be very, very intensive, I'm sure. I'm excited to see what they've come up with.
I am a Cleanup fan, absolutely. He actually already has a tournament hat, I believe, a trophy hat, which is going to be the prize of whoever wins today. So although I'm rooting for him, it would be cool to see someone who doesn't have the hat get it, but it'd also be funny if he gets it again.
Hey, nothing wrong with being a man of many hats, even if it's the same hat, to be honest. That's still
Sure
pretty
enough.
cool.
Let's see. So for the first round, we're doing round robin. It's where just everybody faces each other. Everyone's going to get 3 sets. I believe our groups for that, to just list them off. Group 1 is Fengar, Echo, Cleanup, and Onet. Group 2 is Rekwar, Draco, Schleif, and Katarba. Group 3 is Markoto, Mumph, Kali, and Suboptimal. Suboptimal, I did hear, has been a no-show as of yet. We might be seeing Batangle fill in for his space. I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
And then the last group, Lightmare, Jordan, Kasira, and Kyogre.
So definitely a ton of recognizable names, some of the best to ever do it in this tournament. And yeah, it should be very competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. They had to make us casters because, there was only room for 16 and we were, well and above the rest of them. So it'd honestly, be more fair.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't be fair to the rest of the players.
Yeah. Okay. Besides, I don't really want a trophy hat. It's a bit too much for me.
Yeah,
so
I mean, keep it minimalist with the golden poop, right?
Exactly. Oh, we have confirmation from Tate. The tournament started.
Okay.
People will be starting their games in just a few moments.
Yep, I've managed to get this whole camera thing working. So now do I have to like recapture this onto my OBS? I guess I can just like throw this off to the side for later, potentially. If you like, we can make sure where the game is, or the focus is on the games. So yeah, let's try to pull in one of our would-be streamers, would-be perspectives. Where is Cleanup? Would you like to watch from his perspective? I see Onet in here. Maybe we should just grab him.
Yeah, I'm not seeing Cleanup. I hope Onet can stream for us. Let's grab him, like you said, and see if he has that capability. Hello, Onet. Just curious if you're able to stream for us today. I think your opponent's Cleanup, so we can ask him if you are not.
Yes, and if you are able to, you'll need to deafen as well. But thank you very much. All right, best of luck to you.
Oh, we do have Onet stream for us. Thank you very much, Onet.
We do.
All right, I'm gonna try to figure out how to work this the video ninja thing. I might not have to create a new room.
Let's see here. So it appears I've managed to get a nice full screen going here. Oh, okay, so we're getting our first view at a deck list here. I'll focus on this for the time being. So tier 1, we've got ant, beaver, beetle, bluebird, iguana, mosquito, mouse, otter, pig, toucan. Oh, this is Cleanup's deck, deck 3 actually. And basically Onet is going over his opponent's decks here. So we got, let's see here. We got apple peach. I've been really enjoying the peach. I'm surprised by a lack of honey there. We got raccoon in play as stork. We got the sleeping pill, broccoli, croissant, dromedary, the usual care. We got an elephant in play, which is unusual. I feel like that animal has only recently started to actually have some purpose, which is really cool. A hedgehog also going to be in play on this tournament. Looks like there's going to be a lot of weakness built into this deck. We've got a seagull as well, so we could be seeing a potential infinite with the seagull, elephant, hedgehog. Wasp, turtle, hatching chick, giraffe, donkey, which has been massively nerfed, caterpillar, and blowfish for tier 3. Got that cucumber, lollipop, and garlic for the food. Some pretty good stuff there. And we're just seeing some basic, really, really strong pets out of tier 4, a very competitive tier. It looks like a lot of very good pets have been jam-packed into this. We've even got canned food in this deck. So keep in mind that I guess the food can be shared between packs, but every single one of these decks is going to be individually purposed, and they can't have overlapping animals. So each game in the best of 3, they have to play one of their different decks. They've all got 4 decks, and their opponent gets to ban 1, which is a big part of this format. Hyena is also showing itself. Chicken and Lioness, both in T5. That means that this deck is geared very heavily towards scaling. That's a very, very significant decision to have both of those in one deck, considering that a ban could come down on this one. So let's see here. So this is Cleanup's deck 4. We've got moth, mouse, pillbug, seahorse, mosquito, marmoset, chinchilla, beetle, beaver, and ant. So I guess there can be some form of overlap. Do you know very much about that?
Yeah, I believe that you can use the same units in 3 out of 4 packs. Which means that you cannot use them in the same unit in each pack. You know, you have to have one pack that does not have it.
Right, so you can't just run, like, pretty much identical decks throughout.
Yes, exactly.
You can't overlap more than 6 pets. That's actually very interesting per tier. Okay. So there's a couple different little mechanics going on there. Thank you, Onet, for clearing that up for us. There's another lioness chicken in play. That is very, very aggressive. The lollipop always going to be there, I imagine. Lollipop is just insanely powerful.
I do love using the lollipop, a very satisfying food. I do miss when it was only 1 gold. That was nice for a smidge.
I missed out on that action, but I was loving the I was actually really liking the early cucumber, and I was putting that on the cockroach and just stuffing broccoli down it, and then I'd do like a crab flip, and yeah, that was a very, very fun combination. Let's see here. So I've got Video Ninja. Oh, so if I hit start here, is that just working now?
Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing it, unfortunately. I think it might be a bust for now, unfortunately.
Okay, yeah, no worries.
Cannot figure how we get that to work.
We'll figure it out for future tournaments, perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna get my focus away from there. But yeah. Onet versus Cleanup should be a very interesting game. I haven't seen Onet get too far in tournaments before, but it would be great to see it happen here. And him beating Cleanup would be a pretty big move for first game, for the first round.
And Onet is a very dedicated player. He has been playing this game much longer than I have, and seemingly very consistently. So,
yeah, we see him in like everyone's streams as well. Very active around the Super Autopets community.
I mean, it's a love of the game, and that's a beautiful thing to see. You know, it's very difficult to be a highly competitive player and continue to enjoy the game to its fullest. And I believe Onet has managed to do precisely that.
Oh God! If I was told last year that I would be super into a community and tournament scene around a game based off little emoji pets fighting each other, I'd be very surprised. I would not have believed myself.
I mean, believe it or not, this is a highly competitive game, one where there's a ton of skill to be had. I have heard whispers that this beta branch is a little less super competitive compared to before, like lower skill cap. But I think that the skill level of custom making a deck is always going to really shine through. I'm sure we'll see some very interesting combinations, and it's possible some of these decks will even flop. Trying to prepare 4 different decks and have them all synergize perfectly and being well practiced with all of them is no small task.
Oh, dude, I cannot wait for the variety. Last tournament, let me tell you, it was last week. It just it was using pack number 1. It felt like watching just the same game over and over at some points, you know? The same old units. I am so looking forward to the variety that these custom packs will bring. And like you said, some of them might flop, some of them might do like surprisingly amazing. It should be exciting.
Man, so I was told, I'm not sure if you've heard about this Infinite yet. I'm not even sure I can wrap my head around it perfectly. There is supposedly an Infinite with elephant, seagull, and hedgehog.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't entirely, I can't entirely get my brain around it, because I would assume the elephant attacks, and you might like have a pineapple on the elephant, for example, and that would hit the hedgehog, and you would have a mushroom on the seagull, right? So the seagull would pass the mushroom over to the hedgehog. The hedgehog would explode, and then it would spawn. I guess you'd have to have a mushroom on it to start.
Wait, remind me Seagull's ability.
So Seagull will pass its food to a summoned unit. So you'd have to have a mushroom on your hedgehog to start. But basically after that, the Seagull would pass the mushroom to the hedgehog until its ability is burnt out. So you could get like 4 or 5 procs potentially, depending on what tier your Seagull is.
Do you think we'll be seeing any of that today?
I did see the combination in Cleanup's deck, actually. So it's quite possible that we will.
That could be exciting to see. I'm having trouble understanding it myself, but I trust the method. I trust the method.
Yeah, I've seen. I was doing a lot of theoretical conversation with Caluresis earlier, who was in the tournament, and yeah, some of the strategies that he mentioned are just so out there. I'm very interested to see which ones get implemented.
God, all of the top players looking like mad scientists with all of the exploring they're doing.
That's the beauty of it. That is exactly how the game should be.
A good point. That's one of the nice things about this game.
Yeah, and I'm sure if this whole custom pack thing continues to be further elaborated on, we could see even more interesting and complex strategies.
Oh, we did have Own It go to the channel with Cleanup. I'm thinking maybe we joined them instead?
Sure.
Is that what we're meant to do?
Let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
All
hey, you
right.
two.
Hello.
Good. Best of luck with both of your games. If you don't mind deafening up so that we don't mess up your...
Yeah, we don't want to spoil each other's strategies. That would be unfortunate.
Oh, wow. Looks like Cleanup just caught a fucking hedgehog. Wow. I wonder what that's going to do.
It looks like they're repositioning that low-health unit to the middle slot.
Oh, Own It's about to blindside Cleanup here with that alligator. My word.
This is going to be disaster for that badger if it doesn't go up to the front slots.
Oh, a surprise pivot. I wonder why they decided to pivot there. Oh, Cleanup says he cannot unmute himself. Or
Cannot
do you mean deafen? You can't deafen yourself, Cleanup?
We should be able to get Tay to deafen everybody.
No, we have the power now to deafen people.
Ooh,
I have deafened Cleanup.
Excellent.
Good
there we
powers. All right. So once again, this time we're watching from Cleanup's perspective rather than Own It. Cleanup is now streaming for us.
Indeed. And I've been seeing a lot of that toucan throughout the different teams. Now, do you know very much about the toucan?
Do I know very much about the toucan? Toucan's actually one of my favorite tier 1s now. It is a wonderful unit. If for people's memory, toucan's ability is that when it dies, it gives its food to the person behind it. So put meat bone on the toucan, put garlic on it, it could be pretty nice.
Absolutely. And in terms of like raw item efficiency and raw gold efficiency, just consider this. A lot of the time in the early game, you're running a bunch of the same tier 1 and saving for certain turns to triple. So that way you can get like a higher tier. So if you're running like a conga line of this little bird here, you could end up with potentially 9 gold value at minimum, 12 gold value even if you pass back a meat like 3 times, for example. And that's insane for the early rounds. Like, think about how much efficiency that is. You get 10 gold per round, and if you can give yourself that amount of gold off of just like setting up a couple of units, that is just insane momentum. And I would say it's at basically no loss as well, because it continues to be a really valuable unit throughout the game.
I think in addition to toucan, some of the other tier 1s I've seen a lot of as of late is the chinchilla, which is pretty surprising to me. I'm only barely familiar with its ability. It summons another chinchilla, I believe, when you sell it.
That is correct. And one of the biggest things that Chinchilla has going for it is its pure gold efficiency alongside like having reasonable stats. So the pig, you get more gold back for sure. But the beauty of the Chinchilla is that you can proc that extra unit spawn on things like Dog. And Dog has actually come back into the meta when it comes to these custom packs. It seems practically ubiquitous in quite a few different playstyles. And I would not be surprised if you see a Chinchilla. We will probably be seeing a Dog later on that same team.
Yeah, very true. We would, under different circumstances, also probably see a lot of Buffalo. However, we do have some units banned from the tournament today, and that is Goldfish, Buffalo, and Starfish, I believe.
Right, and yeah, I personally find some of the bans to be a little bit odd, but I mean, the ease of use of those animals is just very, very high. They're so good.
Yeah.
The amount of like buy sell synergies that are available throughout all of these packs, because you get to custom tailor your deck to do exactly what you want. It's going to be very, very powerful, and we'll see some hyper focused strategies, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw a lot of them discussing what units to ban, and it pretty much all went over my head, but I trust there's reason for it, as much as I don't understand them. We are waiting quite a while for these guys. Is there anyone else maybe we could switch to? Because I think other people have started their games
if
by
there's
now.
people that are already playing, then we could go about doing that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Is Rekwar in a game? I'm just like mousing over. It looks like Schliff is already in the game. Do you know if he's streaming?
I don't believe Schliff streams. Who was his opponent?
Let's take a quick gander, shall we? So, might be... Let's see. So Schliff is up against Katarba.
Okay, Katarba does stream, so
right, so that
not
game
them.
is covered, yeah. Thank you, Tay. Let's see here. Kyogre is not in game yet, but it looks like they might be a little bit further along. I believe... Surprised how long these two are just doing prep against each other.
They're trying to get everything sorted, trying to counter each other as best they can, I think.
They gotta look at the whole enemy team and make sure they know exactly what to counter pick. Okay, let's see who Kyogre is playing against. Kyogre is playing against Kassera. So let's see here. Is Kyogre in game?
Oh, I believe, yeah, Kassera said they weren't streaming until phase 2, so that might be safe to do.
Yep, they are not streaming just yet. That is the case. So yeah, we'll head in there, depending on who gets into their match first, either here or there.
Right. Wait, let me check if... Is Kyogre playing in-game at the moment, or...?
They appear to be in-game. I'll be right back. It looks like Mump is also in-game, so we could jump in there if you can find out who's doing that.
Yeah, Mumph is... Go ahead, and...
We've got a fresh game with Kyogre. Let's get in there.
Absolutely. We're gonna mute you up. Good luck, Kyogre.
Yeah, good
Best
luck.
of luck.
All right, so it looks like we've got a Strawberry Friends team. We've actually got a couple of hummingbirds that look like they're being shifted over. And yeah, just completely ignore them. Double Chinchilla, that's a beautiful roll. So not really concerned about winning this first round, but beautiful, honestly, beautiful early shot.
Yeah, I've heard lots of differing strategies. Like Markoto thinks that in the first rounds, at least maybe it's different per deck, but he thinks you should go for just getting 3 units of any kind that are remotely useful rather than hard rolling for things for the round 2. But it looks like this person has Kyogre has a different perspective, wants to look for better units, and it looks like he got good rolls as well, though. Yeah, it worked out for him.
High value in those early triples. They are extremely good. So that round just raced by us there. Looks like we're planning to either triple a Panda or start to triple a Chinchilla early. I'm interested to see which one they choose. Remember, these Pandas are like at a detriment until you get it to at least 100%. You're still down a unit then.
Yeah, absolutely. At level 1, they only do 50% of their total stats, which is a bit rough, but he did get the level 2 guaranteed for next turn. Mm-hmm. That'll give him an early tier 3, which might be helpful as well, depending on what units he has there.
Yeah, and tier 3s is an insane value slot when you've got the ability to just pick whenever. This does appear to be a Strawberry Friends focused deck with the Kiwis and the hummingbirds there. I'm wondering to see how that goes. Looks like we've got the bird by Cass as well as a juicy lizard scaling up there.
Yeah, I was very looking forward to seeing how Strawberry would work out for people in early Turtle as well as Giraffe here. But yeah, I was interested in how widely used Strawberry would be. I'm glad we're seeing some use in this first starting team for us.
Yep, and we are seeing some insane tripling going on. Did you see that? That was amazing. The chinchillas just providing so much value. You could see that we just got a ton of triples right there. That was
pretty crazy. My god, it's only turn 3 and you have 3 tier 3 units on the board right now.
Yeah, that is
amazing.
And also, I would like to point out these units are quite incredible. Having a giraffe this early, a turtle, there's going to be some very, very powerful units coming out on this board.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about Panda becoming useless for a little while. Giraffe buffing it is quite nice. I wonder how long Turtle's going to stick around. You are buffing it now with the Giraffe, but I wonder if that'll stop him from being pilled. I imagine not, as you have a pill frozen already here.
Yeah, it's hard to say for sure. And also, I am seeing a cupcake crab potentially. I wonder how this crab is going to play. So they recently did nerf the crab. Oh, let's see what's going on here. No, Cappy coming to play.
Oh, yeah.
The insane amount of stats the cast has generated. That is actually enough to draw the round, even through the melon armor. That is super impressive. I'm wondering how well that team is going to scale against this one. Obviously, having double giraffe is going to mean that the stats will be going up rather efficiently for Kyogre.
Absolutely. He is going for level 3 Panda, it looks like, which is nice value at, I believe, 100 per 50% at level 3. It's a lot to put into it gold-wise, but could end up being useful. If you have this turtle around as well, melon armor, I feel like turtle and Panda have some good synergy together.
Absolutely. They definitely have that inherent synergy where they're getting nice bonus stats onto a unit that can get an extra attack off. That's always very good. We do see a shrimp come in play. And I'm very surprised by this this shop-wide freeze on the chinchilla. A lot of value must be placed on that for a tier 1 unit for a freeze to occur here.
Yeah, planning to buy it on turn 5 possibly. Pretty late for a tier 1. I'm interested in what's going to happen there.
On top of that, it's even a tier level up.
Oh, he is buffing his giraffe instead of the turtle now, which makes sense, I suppose, if you're going to keep the giraffe for a while. His opponent did get strawberry. I don't think they had that last turn.
No, they didn't. The strawberry is definitely an interesting choice for the mid game. I feel like the general consensus is that strawberry is very, very strong for tier 1, falls off until tier 6. When it then gets to have the beautiful Velociraptor come back into play.
Oh my. Melon armor going on the shrimp here. I see now chinchillas work wonderfully with the shrimp. Oh, but it gave HP to the chinchilla. Unfortunate.
Oh, what a beautiful roll.
Yeah, owl.
That's perfect.
Yeah, great for the shrimp.
Yeah, we were seeing...
This is such an extremly solid start.
It is. But both parties have a ton of power here.
Yeah, can you remind me the Frilled Blizzard's ability? I don't recall.
So it's at start of battle, gain +1/+1 per start of battle effect. So they self-synergize, which is the play that Cass is going for. So they've got a ton of temporary stats in play currently. And that is actually a lot of Cass's team is temporary stat bonus units. The Okapi, another unit they're running, gains +1/+1 per roll, up to 5 rolls. So we can see some very roll-heavy strategies, so that way super precise units can be chosen. As you can see here, a couple of toads come into play. But
yeah, absolutely.
I would say Kyogre is pulling away with it. He's got an incredible scaling synergy team, and he's zooming now.
Okay, he combines them first just to make sure this owl buff does not go to the weaker giraffe, which would make you miss out on stats. Makes sense. You're missing out on some stats from the giraffe unless you get him to level 2 this turn, but that's probably just an acceptable turn for him.
Yeah, it seems like it's still worthwhile at the end of the day. And we're getting some
Picks up
stat
another
trading
owl and
here.
a pig.
Yep, it's just very efficient gold-wise. Will we be seeing this woodpecker come into play? No. Another shrimp and a double freeze. Looks like we're going to be seeing a little bit of a shrimp shuffle. Beautiful. Look at the way he just glides across. He knows exactly where he wants these units.
I didn't realize one could play with such grace. So yeah, your level 2 shrimp is guaranteed. Very nice. And I believe, yeah, another turtle. Melon Armor is likely going on to the giraffe unless you get another unit in there.
I would imagine so, but the Melon Armor also has very high potential to go on to a tier 5 unit, because we'll be seeing a tier up on turn 7 here, and that'll get... Wait, will that be tier 3 or tier 4? I might be...
That'll be tier 5 next turn.
Okay.
Or, you know,
yeah, tier 4,
leveling
and
them
then
up, you'll get a tier 5.
Yeah. So we'll be seeing a very fancy animal coming out for Kyogre very shortly.
Ooh.
Let's see what it is. Now, Cass is down, but they're definitely not out. The explosive potential that you can get from a deck like this, that's a chicken.
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
Early turn 7 chicken. Interesting.
Turn 7 chicken with 14 life. That is going to be really rough.
Do you even care about the level 3 panda at this point?
I think you still want the tier up, and also it's just free chicken stats, so you might as well.
Yeah, I figure you may as well well. And he does. He gets
There
an
it is.
early what are they called?
An early
It's not a
lionfish, I
sunfish.
believe.
There we go, lionfish, that's right.
Yes.
The panda is level 3 and might still be able to maintain some lives while going chicken scaling for the next turn or two.
I would imagine so. The insane... Now, I wonder if they should start or continue scaling the panda here, because I feel like with the chicken scaling, you're going to want to replace that at some point. Though, at this point, it is your best thing to give stats to, purely because it's giving 150% of its stats to the unit in front. The unit directly ahead of it.
With the with the great rolls this team has seen, it's hard to complain about much, but it is unfortunate that Giraffe hasn't gotten to level 2 at all.
That's
like
for
selling
sure.
the Giraffe would have just had more value at this point. Oh, but there is
There
the
it
level
is.
2 Giraffe.
Speak of the devil.
Do you?
You
I
might
don't know
as
if I would
well.
even go.
You might as well, honestly.
Yeah. Early monkey,
just for
I
a
don't
triple,
think-
yeah. Honestly, I would just do some buy selling here. Just keep
Yeah,
it
yeah.
simple. Oh man, how would platypus work? I guess it's not a buy, right?
Oh right, chicken's abilities on buy, isn't
Yeah,
it?
not on sell.
Okay, that's unfortunate. Platypus chicken would be insane if they actually worked.
It would be quite funny.
Kyogre is known for their chicken love, so I love that they got a turn 7 chicken in their first match. Very nice for him.
Yep. Now, chicken is just one of those units that is so powerful. For anybody at home who has not seen the chicken, basically it grants +1/+1. It's half a can to the shop every time you buy a tier 1 unit. And that is just some absolutely insane value. Imagine a dragon, but the stats are going onto your shop.
Kyogre as well is just has absolutely been fiending to make chicken keep up with the new meta. He's a very big chicken lover, and given that he's using it in the tournament, I figure he's confident that it will work. That he's found a good way to make it competitive, despite some crazy new things people come up with.
It seems so. And Cass is now on their last life of this first game here. We will see how this turns out. It's going to be pretty difficult to make a comeback, especially against a team scaling as quickly as this. Such a huge stat deficit. We'd need to see some sort of absolutely bonkers synergy to come out to potentially start a comeback.
Yeah, at this point, Chicken hasn't even done all that much. Even despite it, Kyogre's been getting the wins. And I think it's all but guaranteed he will take it, given he has it. It is insurance, but he might not even have needed it this game.
We'd need to see several tier 6s, I think, to potentially take it. That's the only thing I can think of is like a combination of tier 6s. Perhaps if this is an Orca, Eagle, Stork team, we could see an infinite loop get lucky a couple times. It's not likely, but you know, in this game of super auto pets, we can see just about anything.
Absolutely. Look how big the panda's gotten overall this time.
Yep, it is a massive unit and granting so many stats. Very, very strong tempo. I like the panda a lot. It seems like if it's invested in well, it becomes extremely helpful.
I agree. I think it's earned some ire amongst the community, though. People can go, ugh, another panda lover if you see them in battle. And I think it's getting the same kind of infamy that some other powerful strats have gotten in days of past. You know, the dodo rooster, the dragon before it was too broken.
Oh, here we go. We've got the tapir strategy. Oh, but it wasn't enough.
No, not even close.
There it is.
A good
GG.
First game.
Yep. Kyogre takes it very convincingly on that one. So that is part of this pool's done. So let's go ahead and jump over to the bracket and take a look at how everybody has been doing. All right, so Kyogre has taken a game off of Kassera here. Now, this is a round-robin tournament, which means that everybody plays everybody else. Do you know how many times? Do you want to give that format information to everybody who is maybe just joining us?
Yes, I believe for round-robin, you will be facing each member in your pool at in a best of 3 before moving on to the next person.
Right. Okay. So, would you like to continue with this best of 3 here, so that way we can see its logical conclusion?
Let's see. I would say so, but Cleanup versus Ona is very, very interesting to me. I really feel like we should at least catch some of them.
Yes. Let's do that. All right. So, shall we jump in on... go ahead and take your pick. Let's see.
Let's jump in on, I'd say, Cleanup.
All right. Let's do it. All right, so it appears that we are on turn 5. We've got some bluebird scaling going, 2 tier 2s. My goodness, look at those stats. You can see that there must have been a lollipop that came into play. And now we've got a rooster going to be added to the team last second. Couple toucans doing their meat efficiency thing. And yeah, it's looking like a very clean game so far for cleanup.
Yeah, it's looking very nice. I do love the units on their team. Their opponent has some pretty big statted units, but the Cleanup has the attack to be able to take them on.
Yeah,
and still win.
Tons of value there. So yeah, the opponent is running, Onett is running a dog as well as a salamander, which is actually pretty interesting to see double scaling going in that way, as well as, did you catch the rest of that team composition there?
I did not quite catch it, unfortunately. Oh, we get a good look here.
Yep.
There was a sunfish, I believe that's called, as well as a dog at the back.
Right, so yeah, things are... Oh, and a large otter as well as a huge panda. Okay, so we've got some very significant units here. Cleanup is having to deal with. So that panda is seeming like it's pretty prominent across 2 teams already. Though I like the stats that Cleanup has here. They're very nice stats.
Yeah, the attack from that bluebird was just what he needed to take out the giant otter that the panda made. And so it's a great counter and great placement as well.
Absolutely.
He's gotten, I don't think too much done this turn. Going for the level 3. Yeah. When you get a level 3 and the early unit is the bison, it's the best.
Oh man, that is so hard to catch. You have to play some of the best auto pets you can play when you end up against a bison this early. That said, that is a huge ox, but still not enough to take this round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was wondering if we'd see bison strats in this tournament, and it looks like Cleanup did put that amongst this pack at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are many ways to level up now, many more options for getting your higher tier units. We are getting glimpses at this deck, and it seems like it's got a lot of winning units in it.
I am wondering what's going to become of the toucans here. They're on turn 7, their stats are quite low. They are giving good meat value to different units, but I don't know. I don't think they'll be sticking around as they are, at least. We'll either be seeing them
holder units.
Yeah, like maybe they'll be upgraded to levels 2 if you see another toucan, but otherwise they'll probably be sold off pretty soon. There's another rooster. So interested in a level 2 rooster at all?
I would imagine so, considering the investment going into it.
Yeah, a level 3 bluebird buffing it. It's gonna get nice attack.
Rooster tends to be one of those units that just has absolutely incredible value as you scale it into late.
Yeah, it really does. I like the cucumber on bluebird as well. A great way to bring back its usually high attack but low HP. Looks like his opponent's gotten, I think that melon armor on dog might be new.
Yes, it is, and that is definitely going to seal the deal. Well, not terribly close, actually, that round. I can't believe the amount of momentum Onet managed to put out that turn. That was actually amazing.
Yeah, he had melon armor, and he didn't even need it to win. He would have been fine without it.
Yeah, and you can see that. Oh, wow. That's actually just a basic Ox on the opponent's squad here.
Yeah, recently nerfed Ox as well.
And it's just getting so much value out of that panda. Melon armor is just always king. it's so good. What an incredible food item. And Ox makes better use of it than just about every other animal.
Oh my, stream's looking a bit blocky here.
It's a little crispy, but I
that's
can
an early
tell
chicken.
That's an early chicken right there.
Yeah, it should be at least.
Thinking about it. Now, both of these players are getting down to their lower levels of lives. Both of them have only 3 hits left that they can take. So it is a bit of a scary situation to potentially freeze a chicken here.
Any thoughts on switching to Onet for the moment?
I think that's a solid idea. Let's do that. We'll jump over there.
All right. Hey, Onet. Gonna deafen you up. Good luck, man. Good going so far.
All right. That is crystalline clear to my eyes now. Love to see it. All right. Oh, and look at that. So that bus was flawlessly placed by cleanup. Just really, really clean placement.
You do get a dog and shot, but I don't think you go for a level 2 dog at this point.
I think it's far too late for one of those. I agree. And we're looking to get some space for this platypus, which means that the skunk might be on the chopping block here.
He's trying to, I believe, counter. What he's trying to counter with the skunk? It doesn't. Okay, he does actually go for the other dog.
Yeah,
he is going for level 2.
Yeah, that
skunk is the one to take the leave, as you suggested.
And we do see a Sabertooth 12-9. He has been canning, so looking to potentially swap up the team. Contemplating the Hedgehog. Hedgehog is one of those units where if you catch somebody off guard with it for a single turn, it can be extremely valuable as an early pivot, or just a pivot for a moment in a round.
Oh, looks like Ox is going to go, which is fair.
We're going to be seeing a major team flex.
Ooh. Ganged Pig, just for an extra unit to buy. Does go Whale.
Just as a stat battery by the looks of it. And he runs out of time. He had 1 gold left there.
Unfortunate.
We'll
see 2 bell
this,
peppers on the units in the back.
And that will take that round for sure. Ooh, a Tapir. Now, I don't think Tapir has too much synergy with what's going on here. But that doesn't mean that it couldn't gain some insane value with tier 5s showing up at this point. Just seeing some buy sells for the dog, attempting to make some stats happen. And we are going to see the Tapir for the time being.
Tapir Whale, interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. I've not seen that. I don't know about you, but personally, I very rarely run whale these days. I feel like it's just a little bit on the slow side, and getting that synergy going sometimes takes multiple turns like this.
Yeah, we've seen, I mean, I mostly just see it in arena these days. In tournaments, maybe once in my recent memory have I seen it used, and that was obviously with something like deer as well, and just in a summoning composition. I was curious if we'd see any whales today, but and although I think it was spurred on just to have stats on this team, we have seen it at least once so far. But yeah, I'm curious as to where he's going to bring it here. I don't think this turn was all that productive for Onet, unfortunately. He did get his team filled in a bit, but I feel like Cleanup is doing a bit better as it stands.
There's definitely just a much more cohesive team being created by Cleanup. It's just such a the stats are going exactly where they're supposed to. You've got a lovely big old rooster. You've got a bluebird with some really fine stats. And this team that Onet has constructed lacks identity. It is a dog. It is a dog. That is this team.
Yeah. The only thing you've got is dog and panda.
Yeah. It's very tricky, but a microbe could be very useful against the peppers being in play on the other side. Let's see how this plays. And a vulture. Now, vulture can be exceedingly high value, depending on how your team is constructed. Getting a little bit of a summon squad going here would potentially provide like a ton of stat value, especially off of a single turn.
Okay. Yeah, he does sell the panda there.
I
imagine he's buying the vulture for it, yeah.
Yep.
It's unfortunate that you have to sell the panda, but I think it was the best choice. Selling anyone else here would be kind of rough. Getting just a beach for some extra HP on the dog, getting its health a bit higher, might let it go off an additional time, maybe.
Yeah, this is Onet's potential last life. Let's see if this is enough.
Ooh, the vulture's snipes are working out pretty nice.
Yes, they are.
Is it enough?
Not quite. Enough. So close. That was a lot of momentum generated on that last turn by Onet, but it wasn't enough to catch up to the insane stat team that Cleanup had built.
Damn.
Ooh-wee. That was a spicy one.
that was
very, very
I believe
close.
That was the first game as well, correct? So that should have been the first. So that is 1-0 for Cleanup.
Yeah, and let's take a brief look at the brackets here, see how everybody is doing. So back to bracket 4, Kassar versus Kyogre. Kassar went down 2 games. Kyogre took both of them cleanly. Let's see who else is doing well in pools. So that's pool 4. Pool 3 is looking at a 1-0 by Suboptimal over Calyresis by the looks of it.
Yeah, I believe that might need to be... I don't know if they can change it, but I believe that is Batangle instead of Suboptimal.
Oh, I see.
Suboptimal is a no-show today, sadly.
Okay, so Batangle is actually up against Calyresis, which is very, very cool. Mump went up... is that... Oh, is that... No, Markoto is up 2-0 against Mump, so waiting for his next game.
Yeah, I think that's about expected. Markoto is probably in the top 4 in this tournament, maybe top 5 for expected to win.
He's a veteran and a very skilled player. Sounds like he's been doing a ton of practice. And then we've got Rekwar up against Draco Bills, just 1-0, and Schliff. Oh, Katarba is up 1-0 against Schliff by the looks of it, and that is in pool 2 here. And would you like to cover pool 1 here? Oh, it looks like everybody's games.
Yeah, lots to cover in pool 1, huh? Unfortunately, no recorded wins as of yet in pool 1.
It's been a long one, apparently. A bit of a slobber knocker.
A slobber knocker. Yeah, that is probably what they would call it. But yeah, in phase 1, the round robin, it is basically deciding, I believe, who goes into winner and who goes into loser bracket. So even if you get completely destroyed here, you still have a chance to win the whole thing if you can make it far enough in phase 2, which is just a more, what would you even call it? Just a bracket tournament.
Right. Yeah.
The final bracket, I believe it's labeled.
I'm very interested to see how this sort of format works out, because I've been a part of quite a few of the standard bracket-based tournaments, and they drag on for a little bit. They're very fun, and I feel like they do a pretty good job of finding out who's the most skilled player, but they do take quite a long time.
Oh yeah. How long are you going to be able to be commentating tonight?
Oh, I'll go until I drop. I'm good.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'll probably have to I imagine it'll go on for longer than I can stream. So I'll probably end up rating you at a certain point, but
yeah, no worries.
Yeah, that's a bit saddening. I won't be able to see the conclusion and hear about it until tomorrow, but at least you'll be there. I'm glad that you'll be able to catch the whole thing.
Yeah, this is my life. I need to see the conclusion of this. I gotta make sure everybody else can see it too. So is there anybody you want to jump to watch currently? It looks like Kyogre is in a match. Let's see who else is on. Mumph, I don't see in a match. Draco Bills is about to go into a match, and I believe who's Draco facing off against currently? They're in pool 1. I think they're up against Rekwar.
Draco Bills is streaming, I believe, so we might want to pick someone else. Kyogre was against who again?
They moved on to another match, so they're against. Oh, maybe they're just practicing. That's possible.
Yeah, I don't think Aliasarchives is streaming, right?
No, and
I think Batangle might be good to watch then. He's a few channels below us.
Okay.
8boy.
Okay, I'll catch you in there. All right. Hello, welcome.
Hey, good luck, Batangle. We're gonna deafen you up.
Let's see here. All right. So it looks like we've got. This looks like a Pack 1 team for the most part. Pack 1 plus chicken. That's funny.
Oh yeah. You wouldn't be able to tell this is a custom pack otherwise so far. Well, no, there's the chicken amongst others. Let's see. I didn't catch the heart of his opponent. There we go. Callie is actually on lethal right now.
Yeah, so this is an insane scaling team. You've got a Buffalo that's cruising. You've got a maxed out Otter, a Penguin who's just... oh my goodness. This is like a very classical just triple team. It's kind of beautiful when this sort of thing can just happen. And, yeah, Batangle is taking full advantage. I think this really goes to show just how, like, well-balanced this game is. If what appears to be basically Pack 1 is managing to take on, like, the complex strategies that Aliasarchives has put together, that's just really cool. There it is. Kalir manages to take the round with a really interesting Tapir team. Managed to roll a couple of Walruses. Walrus grants a random unit behind the peanut, and as we know, all animals in Super Auto Pets have a peanut allergy.
You know, that is the implication, isn't it? I suppose it is a very fatal peanut allergy. I do commend Aliasarchives staying in for this long, but I think Batangle is going to take this in the end.
There is just a ton of scaling coming out for Batangle. It's very hard to catch this.
It is a lot. The level 2 Bison giving 4-4, the Penguin giving 2-2 to everybody. Also, it looks like the only thing he did this round is getting 2 Melon Armors, though. We'll see if that's enough to sway things on his side.
Mm-hmm. Now, another thing that I want to point out is that with Tapir Eagle, assuming Kalir has the combo, that could loop indefinitely, potentially. So, with RNG in his favor, he could potentially get some very, very crazy luck.
Oh, hold up. I just got word that Guitarba got a sloth in the tournament.
Oh my goodness.
I have to
Congratulations
imagine.
Katarba.
Wait, I need to bring a Katarba stream. I have to imagine he played it. Oh, we do have a win here.
Yeah, that is a victory there by Batangle, taking out Caluresis. That's 2-0 by Batangle. That's honestly really, really impressive. And some very nice play.
All right. Katarba does have the Sloth frozen, but has not bought it yet. I hope to see a Sloth win from him later on.
Yeah, the Sloth wins are few and far between, especially in tournament play. I'm not sure how many there have been. I know I can count one for myself. Guess that's a humble.
hey, don't have to be humble about it. Just brag.
It happened. It was wonderful. But why can't you like put Sloth in as one of your tier 1s? That'd be funny. I guess it's in all of your decks. Technically.
Yeah. Sloth is present in all decks.
Sloth is
as
always
he should
with
be.
you. Exactly.
Yeah. Always by your side. So it looks like they're getting ready for the next pack. Do you want to switch yet again, or should we stick with them? It looks like they might be starting up soon.
So I'm just looking at Batangle's teams. So Batangle is a late entry. Like a very late entry. And I just saw his team. It looked like he just clicked all of the units in a line very quickly.
Wait, really?
Yes. Which could mean I think we should maybe undeafen a boy for a second, Batangle, and see if we can get a quick interview before he jumps into a game. What are your thoughts on that?
Hell yeah. Batangle, hey man, Alias has noticed something.
Yeah, it appears. Did you just click rapidly to build all of your teams? We don't want to distract you for too long. I'm just interested what your team build process was.
Either way, it's amazing.
Yeah, we'll catch you in between games. Here, we gotta re-deafen him. There we go.
There we go.
Oh, whoops. Oh. Just both pressing the button.
There we go.
Best
oh, I've heard lots of mixed word on the Marmoset. What are your thoughts on it? Some people say that I guess it really depends on the pack where it could be good.
I mean, it's a 2/3, and it gets you. It's like, what would you count it as? It's +2 gold value. It's technically a gold creature, where it gives you
like a pig
gold.
or.
Yes, precisely. I think it's okay. I'll give it that.
Yeah,
it's.
I did play with it a little bit, but didn't get too much chance to experiment.
And I see that there was a mouse buff. I already thought the mouse was pretty good. That's actually fantastic.
Oh yeah, I love mouse, and I'm so happy it got a buff because it's looking to be one of my favorite units. Him along with the Toucan, favorite tier 1s now.
It's a very cozy unit, that's for sure.
Wait, what does level 2 Marmoset do?
That's a good question.
It doesn't roll twice.
That
surely.
wouldn't make any sense. That would just be upsetting. It's like, oh, I want that. Oh, and it's gone. Man,
is it even upgradable? I can't remember.
I feel like it might be a non-upgrade unit, but I actually genuinely don't know. I haven't upgraded it recently. Got some pill bugs in this deck.
Yeah, we also got oh right, Pillbug. God, I don't know if I'll ever take Pillbug. I see we have a Moth. I think first reactions to Moth when like the new patch came out was that people were like, oh, we'll never use this, but we've seen a lot of people using Moth. It does give big attack early game.
Yep.
So it can be very helpful there. I'm also enjoying the amount of seahorses we're seeing. I heard a lot of people bagging on seahorses and even iguanas saying like pushing strats wouldn't be a thing, but looks like some people are at least attempting it.
Yeah, I feel like in terms of early game units, Seahorse is a fairly solid unit. It's got a decent battle or combat effect, and any tier 1 unit with a decent combat effect can definitely be scaled into late game. And that's like been a very dominant strategy throughout Super Auto Pet's history, is trying to like super stat one of your tier 1 units just because it's the first thing you have available.
All throughout history, the ancient texts do depict that. in their
Indeed.
drawings. Oh, we're seeing our first yak today,
A double
I think.
yak, in fact. We're looking for that koala now, which is going to be a tier 3, I do believe. So it's a little bit outside of reality currently, but I guess just as pure stats, yak is still pretty acceptable. We're seeing a broccoli. That is pretty much key to keeping yaks alive, I would say. We will be seeing one of those come out early. Now, one of my favorite strategies with the moth is to get cockroach and then place a moth behind it, and you can do some silly crab scaling with that. And it can carry you for a very long time, and we're kind of seeing something similar here, where we're getting a very high health unit with the moth in behind it, and we're getting a ton of value.
Moth cockroach. I'm not brave enough to play cockroach. I don't know if I just like it enough, to be honest.
It's just for the raw base stats, and also with broccoli you get that +1 attack when you get it to tier 2, so you know, it's some value to be had.
Ooh, giving a shrimp to a yak, then
Yeah.
combining just to end up with a 10-10 yak. Pretty nice.
It's gonna be doing 4 damage to itself per turn, so he's gonna have to invest a ton into this yak throughout the game. It's a very, very costly unit to try and keep upright. It just doesn't want to live. I don't know what's wrong with this yak, but it needs help. it needs a cucumber in its life. It needs a constant stream of broccolis. The vegetables are what's gonna keep it alive. But did it get buffed? It's only doing 1 damage to itself now.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that level 2 it still only did 1 damage. I guess it just increases the attack you gain, is all now, which is very nice.
It has been altered from the last time I was using it. Previous, it was doing 2 damage to itself, and then doing 2 damage to itself twice, and then I would imagine 3 times at tier 3. But yeah, it looks like it has received a very nice buff, and actually is doing some pretty cool stuff now.
Yeah, it's looking a bit better for yak. Thankfully, it can get even higher attack, and I think the changes to yak and koala are very welcome. I really like the changes that were made to them there. With koala now, instead of buffing itself, buffing the unit that gets hurt.
Oh, that is beautiful. I love that. So basically, it's a new support unit at this point.
Yeah,
That's
it really
very
helps
cool.
for big yaks and big other units, I suppose, if you get a leech or some other method of attacking friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard Camel Leech is something that a lot of people have been tinkering with, though I haven't seen it yet.
I want to try that. Camel
Yeah.
Leech? That sounds fun.
It's so simple and so elegant. I love it.
Oh, we have a Wasp here. I was using Wasp a bit earlier today in just a for fun match against Markoto. It's pretty interesting. I am a fan.
No,
You just gotta get its stats a bit high.
Here we go. We got the fried shrimp
Wait.
incoming.
Oh, I did actually not know that shrimp cannot kill a unit. It's a minimum of 1 HP that they get.
Yeah, there's a ton of value to spamming fried shrimp on a unit, as you can just continually get that attack up, and you can worry about that HP stat later. It's not a big deal. Yeah, the new +4 -2 foods, I personally believe are just absolutely broken in terms of their power level. And I'm glad to see them being used here. Look at this.
Oh god, look at that attack rising. I did see his opponent's team, however. The Ox as well as the Anteater provided a lot of value that game and got him the win. But thankfully, you have a lot of lives here to work with. Still up to about 4 losses that you can lose.
Yep.
Until you're done.
I'm personally a big fan of Batangle scaling here, too.
Man, I hope Batangle gets far. It would be amusing for such a late entry to get pretty far.
Indeed.
And Batangle is also a great member of the community, so it would be well-deserved. He's been around a lot.
And we do have Koala. He's just trying to place all of his units just right. Ideally, that Koala can tank a melon armor. That is probably the goal here, but we'll see how this plays out. We still don't see any food on the Toucan, which I personally find to be a little bit of a wasted opportunity, but...
Yeah, it's going to be turn 7 and no food on it yet.
Yeah, not too many. Do you see any combat foods? There's very few combat foods by the looks of it from Batangle here.
Yeah, I didn't really notice too much. I guess there is pineapple, which is something, but not the typical ones you would use with toucan at the very least. Wasp doesn't get to do much that turn. That's another win for Caliarsis.
Yep. Callier is doing pretty darn well on this round, but that is a +7 onto the Wasp. It is getting very big. That is a Wasp you would not want to see bashing into your window.
I see that Batangle does have Hyena on the list. I really want to see Hyena get used in some sort of big brain play today.
I think
it has the ability of swapping all stats, I believe.
Yep. And then at tier 2, it has the ability to, or level 2, it has the ability to swap all unit placements.
Wait, really? I did not know that.
It is an extreme disruptor. It is just a beautiful unit and probably one of the more complex units in this game at this point. At tier 3 or at level 3, there it is. It'll swap the attack and defense of all units and swap all of their locations. So it is a very, very potent unit at disrupting, but it looks like that is not the strategy that is being planned out here by Batangle.
Yeah. He does not go for it, sadly. We do not get to see Hyena get played this game. Probably the right play, to be honest.
I think a 323 Wasp might not be the thing he's looking for.
Yeah. Maybe, honestly, Wasp, you might want to think about putting that in the back if its attack gets high enough so it could kill through Melon Armor. You do get a level 2 Wasp opportunity here, get an early tier 5.
I definitely think you take that. Now, we're going to see the combine here, and that is a Swordfish. Very fun unit. Can do some interesting things. Now, a very strange play getting the bird to level 2. I'd love to see a grape placed on it, and then maybe a pill, so we can get some grape distribution, but we're just going to see a straight-up sell into the Dragonfly.
Oh, he just accepts the loss of putting that gold into upgrading the toucan and just sells it for the Dragonfly here. I think early game was looking a lot better for Batangle. Not much development has been happening in this mid game.
Yeah, so I guess you could count it as a triples opportunity.
A triples opportunity.
A chance to get a higher tier unit.
Yeah, and he only got Hyena, which he didn't take, which was a bit sad. Okay. I imagine he loses this round, which will put him on lethal, so he has to bring it back from there. I guess we'll see what his opponent did.
This is looking very rough.
Yeah.
Yep. That is a very rough team to try and break through. Melon Armor's all the way back, and Wasp manages to get that 50 attack, which is very juicy. But it's only good for 1 attack right now with that 7 HP.
Yeah. Did his team have any snipers? I feel like Bell Pepper would be very juicy on Wasp right now.
No kidding. Bell Pepper is a tier 5 food, so it has the potential to show up if he's got it on his food list. We're going to be seeing a Siberian Husky, perhaps. Really throwing everything out there. The Lioness is a bit of a scaling unit, and I think it might be a bit too late for that. There's a Raccoon. That could be nice for the Melon Armors, but it is unscaled, so I'm not sure it'll do much.
Yeah. I really think, Siberian Husky, I don't think that's really the play right now. The gap is already so large. Getting just a scaling unit while you're on lethal, I think it's over. Yeah,
this feels like curtains. I don't really see too many avenues where you could potentially get out. But we're going to see some cheese coming out onto the Dragonfly. He's doing all the math that he can, trying to make sure that his trades are efficient, but he is out of time. And this is it, one way or another.
Yeah. At the moment, it is, I believe, Caliarsis 1 and Batangle 0. So if Cal wins this, that is 2-0'd. Yep.
All right, there it is.
Batangle gets
Calioresis
2 out
takes
there.
it. So let's go ahead and double check the bracket here. I thought Batangle had won round 1, but I
Oh,
might
did
be
he?
wrong.
Am I reading this wrong?
Let me go ahead and take a look here. It's very easy to misread these. Okay, so Calioresis versus Suboptimal, who's actually Batangle. So he's... Oh man, this thing is so hard to read. It is... Wish I had had a...
I believe Calioresis won the first round. If I'm, yeah,
We'll find out in a
like
moment if we see 1-1 or 2-0. So
yeah.
yeah. Now, if you'll
Oh
give
my
me...
god, he just had, what a madman. His packs are just labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4.
The panic involved in making these packs must have been very real. Just having
how
to
do you
instantly make them.
How do you tell the difference between any of them?
The picture on the front.
But 2 of them are alpacas.
Well, one's 1 and one's 4. There's 1 alpaca
yeah,
and there's
true.
4 alpaca.
You're right. I'm just not as big brain as him, I guess.
Okay, I will be right back. I just need to take 1 moment here and grab some more refreshments.
Feel free. This has been a pretty exciting round 1. Did we end up getting a conclusion to Cleanup versus where was it? Oh, Cleanup is up against Onet right now, actually, which I believe this is their second person they're going up against. No, Cleanup and Onet was the original one. Are they still in 0-0? That seems a bit crazy for 70 minutes in. Interesting there. Maybe a lot of decision-making happening. What is Fangar up to? Whoa. Fangar beaten by Echo, it looks like. Fangar was 1-2 with Echo getting the win in that matchup there. Let's see. Who might we want to move to next once Alias comes back? Let's see. Perhaps... Who's Cleanup against right now? Cleanup was just against Batangle, right? I have everything all mixed around. It's fine. Oh, looks like Batangle's looking at his replay versus Calioresis, trying to figure out what went wrong, maybe. LaRoche, hey man, what's the prize? The prize is a trophy hat. I don't know if there's anything beyond that, but you get one of the few trophy hats that are out in the world, you know? Cleanup has one. I believe Fangar has one. Maybe 1 or 2 other people. A very exclusive club you'll get to be a part of there. Yep, like Mumph says, trophy hat. Let's see. Maybe I can move Alias, right? Yeah, I might just move him. There we go. I've moved us to Cleanup's game. Cleanup is up against Onet right now. I believe we'll be watching that. There we go. All right. It is currently round 11. I believe, like I said, this is their first game. There's at least no markings on the brackets. They're currently 0-0.
Right.
Cleanup has a... Oh, hey, welcome back.
Yeah, hello.
I see Cleanup has a bell pepper on the toucan, which I don't believe has any effect, right?
I can't imagine that being traded back since it's getting used up. So it is purely for the stats of the toucan itself. At some point, we might see a pill onto the toucan, though, I suppose.
I suppose so. Own it with the massive peacock. That is a unique unit that we don't see too often.
Yeah, but it is not enough. There it is.
There we go. I believe that was the end of their first game in the best out of 3, so that is 1 up for Cleanup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the Leech Peacock strategy is actually insane when you think about it, because Peacock has been changed to just gain that flat 4 attack on hurt, and if you have a Leech behind it, it's gaining insane scaling every turn, and
then Lollipop, you could switch it around and get it equal stats.
Yeah.
That is something I did not consider. Good point.
It's a very, very cheap method to get a high stat unit.
Yeah. Leech, I since the beginning, has been one of my favorite units to see used. being able to damage someone in the lobby, I suppose, in the team builder area, quite useful.
Yeah, hurt triggers is just a beautiful effect. I love it. It's very, very fun.
Is Peacock it's based off charges, right? I don't think it loses charges if you hurt it on the setup screen.
No,
even if it gets hit by leech.
Yeah, it would get to keep the charges. I'm not sure if the charges is still a thing. So here's the thing: is we are like deep into beta branch right now, and we are getting patches what feels like every other day, and the amount of like change some of these units are undergoing is pretty crazy.
Oh, you know what I would have loved? To get the biggest patch we've ever seen this morning by the Super Auto Pets team. Just everyone insanity. Scrambling to adjust their packs. That'd be beautiful.
Yeah, I think that people had to lock in their packs, didn't they? They had to pre-report them or something along that line?
I'm not sure.
And speaking of which, I believe, there's a subsection where we can check out people's deck lists. Yeah, there's a deck list area there. I'm not sure if we've got the availability of everybody else's teams, though.
Not certain. Oh, we do have, it looks like Cleanup and Ona waiting a little bit here, so we might just want to switch to someone else.
Sounds good. I see Requar is not in a match. Calyresis is not in a match. Neither is Kyogre. Are we in between matches on everybody? Oh, Lightmare is in a match. Who is Lightmare playing?
Lightmare at the moment is up against Jordan, who is streaming.
Okay.
I mean, if we have no one else to watch, we may as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just do that, and we'll keep a lookout for some non-streaming people.
Sounds good. Let's jump in there. All right. Hey there, Lightmare. We're just going to go ahead and deafen you. Oh, he's already pre-deafened. Look at that.
I appreciate the politeness is welcome, I'm sure. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yes. We have a cow and some shrimp.
Yep.
A platypus. Dog. He's just going for buy-sell, it looks like.
Yeah, this is a very... I feel like it's a very easy-to-run team, but that doesn't stop it from being incredibly potent. The amount of value you can get out of the buy-sell squads these days is insane.
Wait, he doesn't freeze the chinchilla there? Is there a reason? Isn't chinchilla great here?
Yeah, no chinchilla freeze and no fox freeze. With a can potentially in play, it's a little bit surprising, but it might be... Oh, there it is. Just the last round that we came in on. That is unfortunate. Let's go ahead and check out the standings, see if they're about to go into another game or not.
Yeah, absolutely. I have someone saying that Fengar was DQ'd. Is that true?
What for?
Oh, wait, I didn't even notice. Did Fengar not show up today? That would be kind of wild.
That would be unusual for him, yeah. It's pretty much in every one of these. He did play.
Oh, he did play?
Yeah. He had played against Echo. Went down 1-2 and then DQ'd against Onet and Cleanup. Well, hopefully everything is all right.
Yeah, hopefully. Looking at the rest of the goings-ons, though.
It looks like Lightmare and Jordan B are going to be playing another round right now. They're just going over their teams here.
Let's see. All right. Wait, how do you get one of your custom packs to have the sloth on it?
I thought
it was... I guess it's a random animal. I thought it was like an animal you had in your pack, but...
I guess, but that's some impressive RNG manipulation right there.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it just constantly deleted and remade new packs for it, or it was just dumb luck.
It may be a little bit of both. Let's see here.
I'm wondering if we'll see any Mantis strats today. I think Kassira said that they had a pack that might be kind of based off Mantis, but otherwise we haven't seen it used yet.
Yeah, so Mantis is a really interesting animal. I felt that it was insanely good when Frog was a tier 5 and gave you permanent stat swap. So basically you get a ton of stats off the Mantis and then swap it onto something that isn't detrimental and causing you to have a 4 squad, essentially.
Yeah, I do miss old Frog. It was a bit powerful maybe, but it was so interesting. It was such an interesting addition.
I definitely miss it as well. I feel like it made Panda even better though, which by the looks of what we've seen so far, Panda's already too strong, or at least very strong. So yeah, maybe it's for the best. But you know, maybe someday we'll see a Frog in its proper glory and power.
Yeah, a tournament goer as it should be.
Yes, indeed. I believe when it first released, it was a tier 1 3-1 that swapped the
yeah,
stats.
it was tier 1.
Yeah, which is just kind of insane to think about. Just to have that as a tier 1 effect.
Yeah, it is pretty amusing.
Yeah.
Maybe we should switch to someone else here.
Yeah, it looks like we're just looking at packs here, and we're not doing that right now. Batangle is been doing a great job getting into matches. Schliff is in a match as well.
I'd love to check out Schliff if you want to move over to him.
Let's jump in there right now. It looks like, oh, he just killed somebody, I think. Okay. Well, Schliff manages to take a match against Kutarba.
Yeah, well done, man. Good work there.
It is. That's 1 life left. That is optimal. Optimal gameplay right there. And they had a large rooster. Let's see, where else can we head? Oh, there's the team composition. Wow, this must have gone so late.
Oh God. Look at that, turn 15.
Yeah.
We got leopards and
huge
roosters.
Units. White tiger has lower attack than the leopard. Oh, right, because it says lower attacks than the leopards, it doesn't get to do the effect on the leopard.
Oh.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate, Schliff. Well,
yeah,
looks like
should have just put it behind or in front of a rooster, I suppose. But hey, you still got the win.
Yeah, honestly, it looks like you must have scaled like crazy, so you must have done something right. I love how that's. I'm really enjoying the Google results here as he goes.
I didn't even notice.
It's just I'm trying to auto complete the sentences for him. It's super funny. All right. Let's see here. Who is playing?
I think Mumph is playing right now. If we want to check out him.
Yeah, let's do that. All right. So Mumph is on turn 6 with all their life. They've got. Whoa, look at the size of that ladybug.
Oh my God! I didn't think I'd see a ladybug today.
I feel like, as far as momentum-based animals go, it's way up there for tier 1s at the very least. You can get some really good tempo going with it.
Wait, who is Mumph facing here?
I am not certain. We'll find out in a moment if you can't track it down on pools.
What was it? F20? R20? Something like that. I don't remember what their username is. F10.
And we've got.
I remember we saw them earlier.
Yeah. That is a very large iguana, but look at that. The giraffe just tanks very nicely. Tropical fish, not quite as good as the giraffe, at least in this instance. And we are seeing a poodle for the tier 5, so we're going to be getting a scaling unit, potentially.
Yeah, I have to imagine you get it here.
Mm-hmm.
Broccoli, oh man. Oh, look at that. Look at that ladybug.
That's a very large ladybug.
These extra foods must be very nice with it as well, huh? Where you get +4, -2.
Yeah,
freezing canned food.
Those foods are very, very broken by what I've seen so far. There's lots of ways to abuse
Oh
them.
god. You know what else is broken? Oh god, his opponent's chances. They're on lethal right now?
Yeah.
On turn 7? My god.
Yeah, the Ladybug is an absolute steamroller of a unit. It's really, really cool. And the thing is most people are looking to scale at least into mid-game, and yeah, it looks like that's going to be pretty difficult for F10 to do here. Yeah, that's
yeah.
clean right there. That is very
god.
clean.
Just a stomp.
That is an absolute steamroll. Beautiful.
Let's see.
So yeah, we can check the bracket to find out who F10 is.
So, god, it doesn't show who Mumph was facing. He 0-2'd against Markoto previously, so it was clearly not Markoto he was fighting here.
Yes.
It would be either Caliursis or Suboptimal. I think it's Caliursis, right? But yeah, Batangle has a different name.
Yeah, I believe so. So there it is. What a match. Man, so the people have got such crazy decks. I wish we could take some more time to go over those. Let's see here. Who else is in a game? I feel like some of these players are just like never in a match. I don't understand when they're doing their games. I think Batangle and Kutarba are in games right now.
Let's see, Batangle and Katarba. Why don't we?
Yeah. Oh, it looks like Mumph is about to jump into their next game. Here we
Let's
go.
stick with them then.
Yeah. Okay. So they are going up against Batangle here. This is Batangle.
Oh, it was
because,
Batangle.
yeah.
Okay.
At least judging by the name, I would assume.
Yeah, so many names to keep track of.
Yeah. Definitely just leaking the the versus lobby. Nope, nobody jump in, please. Oh god. That happened to me one time where somebody managed to get into it was me versus Fangar in grand finals, and somebody jumped in as Fangar, not Fangar. And I played like half the match without knowing. Yeah, about half the match. I was about to win.
Match.
Yeah.
Oh man, you must have been popping off.
I was a little bit upset. I went on to lose that grand finals.
You should have made a vid to like, no, we should count it.
That would have been so unfair.
Was that the one for a trophy hat as well, or no?
That was the very first tournament, I believe. It was the first one by Tay that he had hosted.
Oh man,
that is a clean early round with the mosquitoes, and we see an otter in play, but we're just gonna skip over it, look for triples. I like that, and we're just gonna be seeing a ton of mosquitoes, given that Peach, I should call her. Yeah, looking pretty good.
Looks like he's not interested in freezing the extra seahorse, I suppose. No. He's gonna likely be combining those mosquitoes next turn for that early tier 3. The Peach. So. The Peach was nice. You'll have an extra. What'll it be? It'll be a 6/4 or 4/6 mosquito on turn 3. Quite powerful.
Such a good unit with mosquito.
Early toad. That's nice.
It's glorious. And a hedgehog. Are we gonna see the hedgehog? I mean, there's not really too much reason. Okay, we're gonna see a swan. I do love some hedgehog plays. They're funny.
Yeah, we're all of the hedgehog blowfish builds. I thought they were gonna optimize the shit out of things and show up in tournaments finally, but maybe not.
Yeah, the hedgehog's day will come.
One day, man. And I'll be there for it, waiting and smiling.
Yeah. I want to see the elephant mushroom seagull infinite.
Ooh.
Looks like yeah, there's some very good momentum on Wumph's side. I actually really like what Wumph is doing here. They've got some the Swan is one of those units where it's going to pay for itself, and if you put meat on it, you're getting that immediate tempo alongside like paying for that tempo in terms of like paying your future self, which is really awesome. I love the investment of a Swan, especially with the meat.
Yeah, I haven't messed too much with custom packs, but I have tried to make like a build where Swan can be used to full effect, where like all the gold that you can get is useful. It's one of my favorite units. The extra economy is just great. I wish it was like all that mattered, so I could go full swans every time.
Yeah, the Econ Swan, it's a good time.
God, Batangle just can't get a win here.
Yeah, this is just an absolute beatdown right now. The tempo built into Wump stacks or Mump stacks are just very, very high. It's really cool to see. A little bit of like RNG is granting some additional tempo, but I mean that's the thing is they built the deck, so of course they're gonna get the RNG, right? I think that's the beautiful thing about these custom packs is there are no dead animals in your pack. You know exactly what you're going to get, and more than likely it's going to be useful at some point. Contemplating the peacock here. Looks like that's going to be swapped off of. We're going to be getting a parrot instead. Parrot is an awesome unit. I love parrot.
Yeah, I know. We haven't really seen parrot. I was just gonna say, I like in custom packs ever since they come out. I haven't seen that many parrots. Maybe I've just been watching the wrong people.
I think it's hard to place on some of these teams because we're seeing so much like in-shop scaling. It's really, really hard to like put your parrot to good use. Like what's it gonna do? Be a mosquito here? That's it. It's going to be a mosquito. That kind of is a little unfortunate, to put it nicely.
Yeah, he's not giving up on it quite yet.
Yeah, he's looking hoping for something.
Oh, level 3 mosquito. Yep, save that for next turn, get an early tier 5?
Yeah, we could see that.
Oh.
I should call her. Yep, there we go. We get another peach. Very nice.
Parrot koala, yes.
Yeah, not really gonna do much, but it's still a 6-3, which is decent stat line.
Yeah, the stats are good for what was this even? Turn 6? Was that an early parrot?
Yeah, it was definitely an early parrot. Now, are we going to get a good trade here? Doesn't look like it. That is yet another loss, down to 3 lives here. So that HP, it just drains so fast if you're not on top of it, right? Let's see here. So we're going to be feeding some milk to the yak. That's a large yak at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it's non-lethal. I guess you want to try to get the win here, perhaps? You're looking at Blowfish kind of curiously. What are your thoughts there?
I don't see it for this team composition. Now, a deer is amazing here. I love deer with the parrot. It's very, very efficient, and that's exactly what we're going to see. It's a very big like bonus for a single round boost. Like that's a lot of stats coming out. Chili pepper is eternally underrated. Just such a nice food.
Oh god, chili's my favorite, dude. I think with the deer parrot, that's probably enough to win here. I mean, his opponent would have to do something significant.
Yeah, it depends on the synergies the opponent gets. I mean, there's still a dead unit on the board in form of the koala. That is just a support boosting unit right now.
The chilies don't amount to much that round, but he still gets the win.
Yep, there it is. Some good stats, and now his opponent is down to, was that 6 health there?
Yeah, 6 health there.
We're going to be seeing some canning. I do love getting those cans out when you can.
Freezing the tropical fish on turn 8? I don't know about that. He does
very
give
peculiar.
up on it.
Yeah, he's playing a little bit fast, to be honest. It's interesting to see. Now, we are going to have to reposition our units to get optimal value out of the deer parrot, but not overthinking it and just placing the mosquito up at the front. I like that.
Batangle did go for chicken here, which I can't help but feel like was a big mistake. He has only 6 hearts, and I don't know. I guess there's not much else going on with this team.
Yeah. No, the footing that Batangle is on is not much, but chicken just has so much potential. I guess if he gets the right units, maybe it could be enough.
Maybe.
But the yak is huge at this point.
The yak getting huge, the parrot deer. His opponents... Oh, he did move the mosquito to the front, which I think will make parrot deer even better this turn.
Yeah, he wanted to try and get some more efficient trades.
Once again, the chili doesn't amount to anything, but he still gets the win.
Just having some 5/5s happen to be enough, as it turns out. There's a hyena. He's contemplating it.
Oh, please.
I mean, I don't think it's super good here. Yeah, it doesn't do too much. Now, I do love an eagle. Eagle is crazy. Especially if we're in potential eagle orca territory. I've gotten a lot of enjoyment out of that combination.
Honestly, I kind of think you get rid of Koala this turn for a better unit since they're on lethal and just try to get a win. Looks like there's not going to be an opportunity for that, though.
Yeah, we do see a fox and a turkey as well. Turkey is frozen. We've got some chocolate on the board. Interesting placement with the eagle up at the front. I feel like that could have potential to be inefficient, but, you know, it probably won't. Odds are it won't be inefficient. The chances it hits Orca these days. I guess, let's see here. Eagle only hits in your pack still, right? Orca is what hits outside of its pack. So yeah, I guess
I don't recall for Orca, but Eagle absolutely inside your pack.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how they've been balancing that combination because it's just got such a... Oh, wow, look at the units. Okay, so some pretty good scaling has actually come out of this chicken. Is it enough? It is. Look at that. The chicken plays are coming in huge.
Oh, God. This is a very important turn. I think if Wumph loses here, he loses next turn, guaranteed as well.
The momentum has definitely shifted, and we'll see how Wumph manages to navigate this.
Interesting. I'm very surprised you didn't keep the turkey there. I thought it was going to see play here.
Yeah, it's at least a +6/+6, but apparently not. We're just going to be seeing a garlic come down onto the yak.
Wait, isn't the only thing that happened this turn the garlic then? Oh, he also put chocolate into parrot.
Yeah, which is really not much. We are getting a little bit of base scaling, but keep in mind, with some very mindful movement of his units, maybe he can actually still pull out a win. You know, just manipulating the stats that you have on the board efficiently can be enough. That crocodile isn't really invested in, but look at that. It does snipe a pretty useless unit there, but... insane trades. Beautiful trades. Ooh, that's a white tiger. White tiger could be huge. What
white tiger putting it on? Yeah, in front of the eagle, it looks like. You could just... no, that wouldn't do anything. Never mind.
Yeah, this mosquito needs to go, and we are seeing it gone. That is good to see. It's just been here for too long.
If he was crazy, he could put Parrot behind White Tiger, get level 3, 2 level 3 eagles, maybe get the deer as well for a level 3 deer. Just get a whole team full of level 3s.
Yeah,
not interested.
There's some crazy plays that could be done here. I'm interested to see how they manage here. The chili pepper is looking like it's going to be coming down onto one of these eagles. Maybe? Oh, there it is.
One unfortunate thing, I think Yak has lost a lot of its former power because its HP is getting so low.
Yeah, it's a unit that you need to have like a constant upkeep on for it to be very good.
Scorpion in front.
Yeah, but we've got some pretty decent trades, all things considered. Oh my goodness, it comes down to a draw.
A draw when they're both at lethal. That's fun to see.
This is about as close as it can get in Super Auto Pets here. Let's see who can find the end game momentum to get this final push.
I think draws would probably favor Batangle here, what with the chicken, but you know, with positioning and pivots, maybe Mumph can still get the win, I would say.
I think Batangle is done scaling, and at this point, it's all about synergies. Keep in mind that both these players have very significantly large shops, so these pivots are absolutely key to survival. Look at this. Man, it is as tense as it can be. The Croc is getting such incredible value. The Scorpion has no counter, and we're just going to be seeing a large Piranha go after the Scorpion here. That's pretty much all we're getting. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe White Tiger only buffs the unit ahead of it, so it's not really getting too much value on that yak.
White Tiger buffs the unit behind it.
Ah,
so the Eagle will be seeing that buff.
There we go. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. So hopefully that is enough. It's the Orca!
Ooh.
Oh, will this be enough?
It's not.
It's not. There it is. The snake was such a strong unit at the end there. What a beautiful play.
It got so much value killing all of the little summons that popped up. White Tiger, though, man, that's a fun unit. Man,
very interesting. And Batangle played that round immaculately. What a beautiful counter throw.
Yeah, that was great for Batangle. I believe that's... Let's see, this is Mumph versus Batangle. I don't think... Was that their first game?
I believe that was their second.
That was their second?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe it's just not updated then? It says 0-0 on the
They might
Smash.
be doing it all at the tail end here. I
Might
think
be.
some players do that. Okay. Would you like to stay for the exciting conclusion, or shall we try to find somebody else who's also playing?
Let me check one group. Otherwise, I think we should stay. I want to see who
thing.
Cleanup is facing right now. Let's see. Cleanup is at the moment up against... That's not the right one. Okay, there we go. Cleanup's up against Own It right now? Oh, no.
All of
I
you
think that game
hanging out.
ended. Alright, I think we should just stay here while we have a good game. And it looks like they're going to start up pretty quick.
Sounds good to me. But yeah.
Unless you had a game in mind?
No, I'm good to hang out here and check out the best of three. I love being able to get the full series on it. It's always nice.
Yeah, for sure. Very good indeed.
Yeah, it's so difficult to like cast all of the games for a round robin. I feel like you need so many different commentators to get everything.
Yeah, no, some people are going to be missed for sure. There's too much going on at the same time.
Yeah, and it's just a matter of catching whoever we can. Yeah, I'd love to find a Requar game whenever that happens. And who else is on this list here who we might have not have gotten? I know Echo is streaming, but we might be able to get their perspective if they go live. Let's see here. And I guess we should probably try to catch a Kutarba game as well.
Yeah, catching a Katarba game would probably be good. Requar, who's Requar facing right now?
I'm not sure.
It's either Schliff or Katarba, I'm not sure.
They're both in the same room, so it could be Schliff.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense.
Yep. All right, looks like this game is just about to start. Yeah, I don't know who my money is on for this one, honestly. It seems like it's a very, very even matchup. Two very equally skilled players. Looks like this is a Pack 2 kind of game so far. Oh, we're getting an abandon.
Surely just trying to get that dunce hat before they start up.
Yeah, gotta get the abandons going.
But yeah, I don't know who I'd favor, but I'm rooting for Batangle just because I know them a bit better.
Fair enough.
Also, him being a late addition.
Oh, Tangle had a wrong deck, apparently. Yoga for your brain.
I see. I see. I'm glad that... I think there was some worry about Lioness before the game started, but it comes in so late that I don't think it matters too much for 1v1s. We haven't seen too much of it.
I think that you have to be very far ahead. Like, you basically just have to roll it on, like, a tier lower, essentially. That's when it becomes super useful. Turn 7 Lioness.
Yeah, that is one of the only places we see it.
That's it reminds me of like when you get when you used to get the super early monkey when you're on tier 3 and you get it for tier 4. That was just can never catch him then. It's impossible.
You know, I wonder if Lioness was used in a game we caught the tail end of. It was like turn 14 there. They had giant... It was either, Chicken or Lioness more than likely. I think they had big shops in that game.
It's quite possible. Well, we're getting some name meta. Here we go. We're trying to find the optimal team. We got the Rolling Fingers, Fatherly Geeks, Fatherly Fingers. Oh, there we go. We're going with the alliteration. I respect that. A little bit weird, but it works.
The winning name has been selected. I believe it. Oh, level 2 toucan right off the bat. Surely you buy both of those.
Yep, I would imagine so. This is a beautiful triple shop. We even get a sell, which is a little bit intriguing, but fair enough, I suppose.
Not great shops, though, in the last 2 rules there.
Yeah, could have certainly been a lot better. Now, I got to briefly ask, what are your thoughts on the naming meta? Do you have a strategy going in?
For the naming meta, yeah, you have to avoid the ones that are too easy. They're just bait, you know. They're just bait. Like
so you can't go with huge balls, for example. That one's just
exactly. Yeah. There's a certain bar. Oh, the meat chain is about to begin.
This is gonna be some disgusting value incoming here. I'm very excited to see how this plays. Holy moly, this is gonna be so juicy. Oh, this has to be the dream early game, right?
For me, at the very least, absolutely.
Look at this. Look at these stats. Now, we've got some Kiwi play by Batangle. I'm a big fan of Kiwi Strawberry, actually. You just throw a Strawberry on the one unit you want to keep, and then you just buy, sell like crazy. And it plays very similar to Otter Squads, where you just get one gigantic unit. I haven't done the math on the gold efficiency, but I like big numbers, and it tends to provide that.
Yeah, big numbers do make you feel better, I would say. I think one of my favorite openers is actually Hummingbird. We haven't seen any of that used here, so I'm beginning to think maybe that's not as good as I hope it is. But Hummingbird on a strawberry unit, love it.
Yeah, I think a lot of the players are going for a more of a like mid-game power spike rather than an early game power spike. That tends to be the play when it comes to 1 versus 1, and I mean, that doesn't mean that like tempo can't work. We've seen ourselves the tempo has absolutely crushed in a couple of situations. That was not even remotely close. Holy moly!
Yeah. The Beatles have not amounted to much here. I think they're probably going to be leaving this team soon.
Yeah, they're somewhat dead weight. We might either see them as a pure sell here, or maybe a combine and just go for a triple at the very least. Yeah, that's a bunny, which is something, but not much.
Yeah, it's not much at all.
Okay, so we are seeing a tempo play coming out of Mump here. Mump has really, really been driving home the tempo strategies, and I respect that a lot because, you know, getting those very quick wins, it's satisfying. And, you know, sometimes these teams start to fall off, but I think if you play them right, you can leverage your early tempo advantage into additional stats later.
Yeah, very true. God, this is why I'll never be a good tournament player, because I don't go for tempo at all when I should. You know, it's too big brain for me.
I mean, there's something very satisfying about being greedy in this game, but I would say you just got to think about it like tempo is just future greed.
Greed, but from the future. I see.
It's like some sort of weird stock investment analogy that I'm not smart enough to make. Somebody else could take it from there.
Oh, did you see Batangle's team there? He's got a level 2 koala and 2 yaks. Very interesting.
That is going to have a ton of potential scaling. It's not quite the old koala strats, but I'm sure it'll still pump like crazy for the yak.
Yeah. The early game has been crazy for Month, though, here. Undefeated. I think Tangle was at 7 hearts, maybe?
Down
9 hearts.
To 9 hearts, yeah.
Oh, he still has the pill. He used the pill bug there. I am surprised Pillbug sees any use. It just doesn't seem like a great unit to me.
I agree entirely. I really don't see its value, but maybe it's been changed ever so slightly and it's got some sort of use now. I don't know.
They should, if they haven't, because, yeah.
What do they do to make it good? I don't know. Maybe give unit behind 1 HP every turn or something like that. Like, it's a tier 1, so it's understandably bad. And there's another crushing round once again, just an absolute beatdown with this tempo. And we've got a level up hatching chick, so we're going to get some more permanent stats at the cost of our short-term value. But it doesn't seem like that's really going to matter too much at this rate.
Ooh, what do you do here? This is a bit tricky. You could sell the beetle. Okay, yeah, sells the beetle. I think combining the toucans was also an option there, but did not go for.
I think the beetle triple is worth very limited amounts at this point. And yeah, I like the play here. This makes sense.
Yeah.
The Badger might have been a nice one as well here, but Rooster is just such a consistent unit. And I do see that the Badger did receive a slight nerf.
Oh, right. Its HP went down, right?
Or was it's 4-3 now rather than a 5-3.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a strong unit, but you definitely need to invest more into it now by the looks of it.
Yeah, I would still take it. I don't think it really changed much at all.
No, not terribly. Look at this damage coming out from the meat, and that is a disgusting trade. Down to his last life. Batangle is in a lot of trouble here. About to lose out on this pools match here between himself and Mumps. Yeah, this is looking very, very difficult to come back from. Very clean play by Mump overall. And we've got Double Skunk looking for those HP stats. Gonna freeze one of them.
Oh, cheese?
The cheese.
Interesting.
I don't think the cheese is useful here because the meat is just kind of a factor. Yeah, so we're just gonna see some flat scaling. I respect that.
I don't think I've ever used cheese.
I mean, it's Cupcake, right? It's basically Cupcake, but it doesn't have the cool crab synergies, so...
If it was used in, like, any mode, I feel like 1v1s is where we would see cheese, but we still haven't really seen it today.
I'm sure that there's a time and place. It's just that this team composition is not that time and place.
Yeah, understandably. And I believe, is Batangle on lethal here?
Yes, so this could be it. And that is it. There it is. A clean tempo sweep. Just incredibly high value and like tempo units. You can see that was really the Toucans doing for the most part.
The Toucans were amazing. I love to see it. Definitely got to be one of the favorite tier ones now.
Yeah, that's just unbelievable value. You can't really compare against that. And just a perfect showing of the tempo meta. And I think that the way Mump's teams are lined up, they could be poised to go very far in this tournament because from what we've seen, most people are going for a later scaling than this. So I'm very interested to see how they continue through the rest of this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Who was it? Let's see. Mumph has faced now. This was against Batangle. Mumph in his first round that I believe we saw was against Markoto. Oh yeah, we didn't see Markoto where he got 0-2'd. He did get crushed by Markoto there, but you know, he's still showing some good moves against his opponents here. He's still in it.
Yep.
I just wish we got suboptimal today, but hey, we got Batangle instead, and he's doing great.
Yep, lots of fantastic players that we're going to be able to follow through on, which is super nice. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and track someone else down to continue watching. Schliff is just looking at Discord, so that's not particularly interesting. Calyresis is in-game, as is Kutarba A-Boy as well. Would you like to go to Calyer or Kutarba? Take a pick.
Let's go to Kutarba.
Sure thing.
Let's check him out.
All right, so we've got a bit of a later game situation down to their last life. I guess we should, sorry about that, Kutarba. Oh wow, we've got got a fly comp with the vulture. That is nasty. And then we've got some basic scaling and buses by Mr. Bills. Let's see.
Oh wow,
here.
this game ended up going quite late, like you said, yeah.
Indeed. And that is a draw. So they are going to be
close.
Now, when this happens in the late game, I've seen the games go just so insanely late. So it's very, very important to have some form of scaling. We're skipping over a can And that is a huge chocolate. That's going to give so much bonus damage for the amount of pets that are dying here.
Yeah, his team has improved greatly this turn. His opponent has to improve just as greatly or better to win. His opponent does have the benefit of not being on lethal, though. He can lose this round and still live.
Right. And, yeah, the summon compositions, they are oftentimes very frail to the various effects that can happen. I'm interested to see if there's going to be some sort of counter unit that comes out, because all it takes is like one good disruptor, like for example, I guess not quite a crocodile at this point, but a pineapple crocodile would have the reach to snipe this and this vulture, for example.
I don't think crocodile has like a place. Well, no, it still has a place, but I feel like people would go eagle over it. Or excuse me, hawk most of the time. We haven't really been seeing crocodiles in anyone's deck, I feel like.
Right.
Oh yeah.
There is that tempo advantage. That vulture is just doing so much damage now. It's gonna be really hard to come back from this, I think. And the poodle is scaling, so like it's beautiful. That's what you want. You want to have that little bit of scaling.
There we go. I think that was good. There's not as many people with high HP. Lollipop was a good choice there. Get a more chance for Ladybug to be able to attack.
Right.
I think this has got to be a Katarba win.
It looks like it will be. There's just so much power in the Vulture. It's really interesting to see a unit that started off in tier 4 be upgraded all the way to tier 6 and still be this potentially dominant.
I'm just looking at the levels on his opponent. Look at that. Level 3 Parrot, level 3 Bluebird. He's gotten... I mean, both teams have gotten some pretty high-level animals.
They have.
This is a turn 13 game now. One of the later ones that we've seen.
Yeah, I think maybe the latest we've seen in this tournament is turn 15. And, yeah, with that in consideration, they were like around 40 stats. So this must have been a very aggressively played game.
Ooh, wait, this team looks quite different from last time.
Yeah, big shifts have happened. We've got the Orca in play. Orca can do some very dumb stuff. We've got Popcorn. Another Orca eating the melon. That is going to
The Vulture
him.
put in so much work there.
Yep.
Wow.
It did.
There we go. Katarba win.
Ooh-wee. Kutarba takes it. That is a clean victory for sure. The Vulture just put in so much work.
Got it. You know, I don't know if I've ever used Vulture since the new pack came out. I really need to give it a go. It's very clearly a good unit.
It is basically the new summon strat to some extent. Imagine Snake, but it actually gets to attack behind every summon. Like that's...
What a grand idea. Snake, but it actually gets the chance to work. Wow.
Yeah, very gross. All right, I see Cleanup is in a match as well as Calyresis, so take your pick.
Ooh, yeah, cleanup.
All right, let's do it. All right, so Cleanup is on turn 6 HP, or 2 lives, I suppose. So he's getting rolled by his opponent right now. This is some very scary stuff. That's a tier 2 turtle just coming into play. The Toucan not doing very much. Just frantically thinking here in the last few moments of this round here.
Yeah.
Oh, ooh. Huge pivot!
He does waste some gold, but hey.
Yep. And there's a pill coming in, but...
Microbe Turtle is exciting.
Yeah, no, that is a very, very strong potential team. I'm interested to see how this goes. It looks very favorable for his opponent still, yep. Yeah,
this was Cleanup versus Calyresis, right?
I'm not sure who Cleanup is against currently. Yeah, they're both playing on anonymous accounts, so... I'm not sure.
I believe this is Cleanup. Oh, it's not. No shot. It's versus Calyresis. This is Cleanup versus Echo, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be Echo.
I gotta say, this team looks like it is in very rough shape compared to his opponents. He's gonna need some very, very smooth moves, I think, to pull out a victory here. Even
look
a
at that.
singular one at this point.
Oh, pilling the level 2 turtle. Interesting.
It looks like that might be the play at this point. Yep.
And you're not keeping the microbe then.
Rooster in the back. Yep.
Selling that for Hawk, perhaps? I mean, you have a
look at
roll.
that.
2 rolls.
I didn't realize that just buying a unit gets you the melon with the seagull.
Oh, yeah. Even if you just buy a unit. I do remember that. Seagull is a very great unit.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of combo potential for sure.
Yeah, get your whole team some melon armor if you plan for some late game pivoting.
I do love that. So hopefully these extra melons are what it takes to keep this round going.
Oh, look at the size of that ox. I see why Hawk was put there, but...
Oh, okay. There it is, a draw. Very nice unit placement and, like, absolutely vital pivoting has kept cleanup in this game at least one turn longer.
I see the thought behind freezing that Hawk. If you get a level 2 Hawk, I think that would have taken out the Ox, but I mean, it's too easy to, after a turn, it's too easy to prepare against Hawk. I think you just move units around.
Yeah, I mean, you can also counter move your Hawk, obviously, but it's definitely tricky to justify for too long.
God, I didn't even notice none of his team has any XP. Goes for the level 2 Bluebird. It's not looking good.
It has been incredibly rough. I can imagine the rolls have not been to Cleanup's liking thus far.
Yeah, I've not been liking them either. Hey, he has a level 2 Bluebird.
18 months. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, at least he stopped the lose streak and drawed for a bit, but I can't see Cleanup winning this match.
Yeah, he will need a very, very significant several plays to make a comeback here, I believe. But I wouldn't rule it out entirely. The scaling of his opponent isn't too high, but this is the moment of truth. Let's see if he can withstand another round.
Ooh. Melon Armor gets taken out by the splash damage of the deer.
Yeah, that is not even close. GG. Well played. That's a clean victory by Echo, according to Onett. Yeah, that was very, very strong.
Yeah, well done.
So what does that place their match at? Where are we at in the bracket here?
The website says 0-0, so
you gotta update your games, guys. Come on. That's funny.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure there, unfortunately.
Well, we can assume that perhaps that is their first game. Let's see.
Yeah, if so, that does place Cleanup at the disadvantage. Man, I'm rooting for Cleanup though. Hopefully he can come back.
I will continue to be an impartial commentator.
I will continue to clearly state my preferences for who wins.
That is also reasonable, I suppose. Let's see here.
You know what? Being impartial is lame, anyways. You know.
Gotta be able to weave the underdog story potentially. Alright, looks like they're going straight into game 2, which is perfect. That's what I love to see.
Oh my god, these tabs.
Around. Yeah.
Mini parrot tabs.
Yeah, everybody's running the toucan.
Did Vanguard DQ? I think so, Month. I think Vanguard DQ'd.
He must have had to go. We're not sure why, but
I think it was like the tournament started at 7 a.m. for him, so maybe
at work, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, must have been something.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're getting some very hard rolls coming down here on this first turn. This is extremely aggressive, and we're seeing a Bluebird freeze. So losing this first round is really not a big deal for the most part. And his opponent did just sort of take stuff. I'm not sure if this is exactly what he wanted, but I'm pretty happy with his units. They're pretty good. Couple mice, that monkey thing.
Oh my god, triple otters.
That is you gotta.
I don't think he's happy about it, but I agree, you gotta.
It's just too good. Like, it's way too good. I think you combine your parrots and you just take the eldest round and throw your throw the couple otters down on top of each other. Oh, what an aggressive roll. Holy moly. But
Yeah,
he did get his triples.
He looked those otters in the eye and pulled the trigger, sending them off to the farm.
That's crazy. And he's not interested in a tier 3 toucan either, which is also interesting. I feel like you can get a lot of value out of running like multiple toucans in a line, as we've seen.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't usually go for it, at least.
Fair enough. Oh, we're looking at pets this time.
Although the rules were there, he was getting a lot of toucans, wasn't he?
Yeah, indeed. So I believe he's looking at his opponent's squad right now.
Yeah. Okay. Turn 3, you're gonna start seeing tier 2s. I think you start getting meat, which I assume will be gotten if you find one. Put it on a toucan.
I would imagine so. More toucan. This is some of the most aggressive rolling I've seen in a very long time. I haven't seen rolling like this since there was like since Dota was like full power. Like that's the last time I've seen rolling like this. It's been a long time.
He has one more roll left. I'm sure he's looking at the food.
Yeah, broccoli is good. Oh, there's a dromedary. Is he just gonna take the drum? I feel like he'd probably. Oh, he's just gonna take a broccoli. Okay. Yeah, so he's gonna use the one bird as a health battery while he buffs up the other one's attack, and then when he combines them, he gets a very nice bonus on both. That's really good.
That will be very nice for him, but the aggressive rolling mixed with bad rolls is not a great combo.
Yep, that is some painful stuff, and you can see double dromedary on his opponent. He's already down. This is the scariest situation I could potentially foresee for cleanup.
The bad rolls continue.
Yeah, it's rough. It's very rough right now.
Oh, he doesn't even have meat in his pack.
There's no meat in this pack, which means that these toucans are not going to be getting
what are toucans
crazy giant boon.
Wait, why does he have toucans in this pack then? Is there garlic later on?
There has to be some sort of later food that makes the toucan worthwhile, right? Unless you're looking to pass a pill back and do like a cool chain.
Yeah.
You could also do grapes, I guess.
I don't think that works, right?
If you pill the toucan, you can get a couple grapes.
Oh, wait, I didn't even think about killing the toucan. It's a feint ability, right?
Yeah.
Why have I never considered that?
I don't know, but now you've got a cool new strategy. And everybody at home should try that on the ladder, please. Because it's definitely good, I promise.
Yeah. Let's see more of it out there. Okay, getting even more attack.
Yeah, we're seeing Croissant, which will hopefully bring this bluebird to some insane levels of attack. I don't believe that Cleanup got to spend all their money. They were too busy scouting their opponent, who is just absolutely scaling out of control in a very ungreedy manner. This is going to be incredibly rough for Cleanup to come back from.
Yeah, I hate Cleanup's start here. That was rough. Also, the stream did die for me.
It did, yes. So we could swap to the who are we up against right now?
His opponent is... Oh, there we go. If we do need to, his opponent was... It was Echo, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, we've got a hamster in play. That's great for some extra gold value, potentially.
Yeah, for him, he does seem to be a fan of the rolling as well, so that'll be extra helpful.
Come on, get this bird on the board. Good, I like to see it. You gotta be very efficient with these rolls at this point because he's just so far down.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what brings him back from the brink here, but he's gonna find it with all these rolls, I hope.
I mean, if he doesn't, that won't be great.
Yeah. So got
How interesting is Donkey in this pack?
Yeah, now Donkey has been nerfed down immensely from its previous prowess. Previously, it would activate on friend feint. Now it activates on knockout, so when it takes out a unit.
He sells the level 2 toucan for the raccoon here. I can see why. Toucan was just doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing for it to do in this pack, seemingly. And, yeah, it looks like we do have some insane lag again. I hear the fighting. I don't see the fighting.
Oh, is Echo not streaming on Twitch? I thought he was going to be.
Yeah, let's jump in there. We can watch from his perspective if that's all right.
Yeah, let's go switch to Echo.
Yeah. All right, how you doing, Echo? We're just going to
Good
go
luck,
ahead.
man.
And, yep.
Beat you up.
Okay, beautiful. Wow, that is a fully frozen shot because dromedary strats are hilarious.
Oh,
Holy
God.
moly! And we're just seeing food strats come through for Echo. I love this. The
fact that he's doing dromedary and he's still at 15 lives. My goodness.
Well, here's the thing: is like food strats are just insane right now, right? So he just needs to play around with this food shop, and he can just roll all day, spend all his money there, and he doesn't have to worry about his shop at all because he's got it future-proofed with this frozen strategy.
Yeah. No, this... God.
This is...
well played by him, this game.
This is very brutal for his opponent, that's for sure. Cleanup is going to have a very hard time here.
I'm surprised he's not thinking about meat on that front dromedary. I feel like that could be useful. Like maybe toucan in front of it. I don't really see the point of garlic on a one-attack unit.
Yeah. I
oh,
think
wait, but there's the moth in the back.
Yeah, the moth helps a bunch.
Yeah.
This is similar to the cockroach strategy I was mentioning earlier, is just having that, just go broccoli stat battery with the HP and then have the moth prop up.
Oh my god, look at this front dromedary, man.
It's huge. Got a little bit of bacon, I love it. Alright, yeah, we're just buying food. It's just that easy, you just buy food. Yeah,
this is brain dead, but also pretty big brain.
I'm not a super big fan of the units he has frozen, unfortunately. The only thing that's really got any staying power is the...
Badger. He just gave up.
Yeah, that's it. Just very unlucky for cleanup. He went for some super aggressive roll strategies, and it just didn't pay off. He got outscaled.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so Echo played that very, very cleanly, and that's an easy victory for him, actually, this time around.
Yeah.
So
I'm hoping we'll be able to see cleanup do a bit better next game.
Yeah,
is there anyone you wanted to switch to, or?
Let's take a look at who's going here. I want to stop in on Aliasarchives again at some point. Let's see, who else is playing? I don't see Jordan's perspective. I'd like to stop in on him at some point. Requar isn't live.
Oh, yeah, we do need to see Requar at some point. Who is he facing?
Let's see here.
Requar, where you at?
So Requar is part of Pool 2.
Right. It looks like he won against Draco Bill, so it's either Schliff or Katarba. Okay. Hey! Hey, nice, look!
We're going
ads.
into a loop.
Imagine getting ads.
Yep. Alright, I'm gonna check out Aliasarchives for now, but yeah, we gotta keep an eye out for a Requar game also. Oh, look at that, we've got gameplay sound on this one. Callier, the pro streamer. Oh my god, look at this composition. Holy moly. Alright, so we've got just an absolute unit of a... oh my goodness, Valerie, welcome on in. So we've got an absolute unit of a peacock going here. We're on turn 11, and just some absolutely insane strats coming out by Callier. Stego is just providing a ton of stats onto the skunk. And we're seeing a pill for like a large turn pivot. Look at this.
Oh my god. I love this team.
Yeah, I love it. This is very good. I think that that tapir probably shouldn't be up at the front because that's going to be a partially wasted orca. But we see a mushroom. Oh my god. It's the mushroom tapir orca eagle bonanza. It's beautiful and disgusting and just so good.
Oh, how many heart parts? Okay, they're both at 4 hearts right now.
Yep.
They can both afford a loss. What does his opponent have? I saw a turtle. I think I saw a dog. I don't think there's...
I saw a shrimp, so this must be a classic shrimp buy-sell strat for the dog. And yeah, we're seeing a tier 3 skunk, thanks to White Tiger. Very juicy.
Oh!
Oh, the Orca went into Eagle and still lost.
Yeah, lucky with the Eagle, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, wow.
Damn.
Well, that mushroom is going to make a big difference here, and losing all that HP on the Peacock is just so costly. Hopefully...
It goes all the way down to 1 HP.
Yeah, which makes the melon irrelevant.
Yeah, if you could get Bell Pepper, I suppose that would be something, but I think there are probably better things to spend money on this turn. Yeah. Sells the Orca here. Gets an Eagle instead.
Indeed. I'm pre-velocity, noting that Orca was nerfed. It only poops out 1 unit now, so Tapir isn't a waste. Yeah, the amount of changes going on at any given time, it's tricky to keep up with it all, so thank you there.
Okay, he does get more melon armor. Only has 1 gold left this turn, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is that unit? Stegosaurus?
Yeah, Stego. Stego gives you +1/+1 per amount of turns, so it's giving 12/12 to the Tapir right now.
Right. Does it have a level up ability?
Yeah, it goes +2/+2 per turn, so it just...
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, it's very, very broken. It's kind of crazy.
That's pretty crazy. We're going into the next round. Ooh, some pretty big shifts there. Only a 4-man team from Markoto.
We've got a 51, and it is perfect for that last situation. It's now 1 life for both. Sudden death is in play.
These two teams are so in step, so close to each other, both on lethal now.
Yeah, and they've both got very strong setups, but I really do like the synergies on Calyresis' side. But that skunk is deadly. All it takes is let's see. So Melon blocks how much is it? 20, I believe.
Yes, 20.
Yeah. So anything over 20 will one-shot kill the Peacock if it's placed properly.
Yeah, there's a Bell Pepper in shop, which means that Peacock would survive even at 1 HP, I think. But...
That might be a worthwhile pivot at this point, honestly, but with 0 gold, it's all down to positioning at this point.
Yeah. God. I mean, he made good improvements this turn. It just really depends on what, fucking... God, I forgot his opponent already.
I think these mushrooms are going to make a huge difference. I'm interested to see how this goes.
Just the extra units. There we go. It's Markoto, of course. Okay.
Lots of Stegosauruses, but not enough. Look at that. So Markoto takes it with just some huge units. White Tiger. That was
so close, though.
Yeah. White Tiger really showing its value there. That was incredible. Very, very clean match between the two of them. We only got to see the tail end, but that was awesome.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I love to see the compositions.
The games go late.
Yeah, and the compositions that specifically Calyresis has come up with, because he's been very creative with the weird stuff he's been doing.
Yeah, he's been wonderful. Invitationals are a nice thing, you know. You got... Wait, was Tyler not participating in this one? I thought he was. But yeah, all of the people in it. I'm glad we don't have to do stream delay because, you know, everyone here is pretty trusted or trustworthy and known in the community.
Got some respectable individuals. Nothing but the best.
Maybe that's another reason that we couldn't participate. We're not respectable enough.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely it. Just
I don't know about you, but I'm quite backstabby.
Too interested in the victory. All right, let's see. So in terms of pool progress, for anybody wondering, we have 16% pool progress in pool 1. We got 33% in pool 2, 16% in pool 3, and 16% in pool 4. How long have we been going for here? I don't know about you. It's just been 2.5 hours for me.
Yep, 2.5 hours. You're right on the mark. chat. I take it back. I'm
That's
very
fine.
trustworthy. Don't call me these things.
Too shady. See this guy's
Let's see.
face.
So this will be game 3 for Markoto versus Aliasarchives. I didn't catch their score. Obviously, it's clearly at least 1 for Markoto.
Well, if it's game 3, it would be
Let's
1-1,
see.
I would imagine.
Markoto, Aliasarchives. There we go.
Checks out.
It's not updated. Okay. I have no clue then. But round 1, you get a toucan, 2 bluebirds.
Mm-hmm.
Buffing up the toucan first off. Let's see. Oh yeah, gotta decide on the name. Wrinkled something. He's gonna be wrinkled.
Wrinkled posers. There you go.
Wise,
Not bad.
wise
Not
move. All right, round 1 starting up. Who's gonna get the hand here? The first hand. It starts
Look
with a
at
draw.
that.
I want
A
to see more
draw.
seahorses in this game.
Seahorses
Seahorses are quite fun to use, but
yeah.
maybe they're honestly a bit RNG. It's kind of hard to find a great spot for them. They're
Yeah,
kind of,
it's
in my
definitely
opinion,
tricky.
like Hawk or any other unit that you just get for a turn, but then they know it's there, so they work around it.
I don't hate them
You
as
didn't go with
s-
wrinkled presidents, auto loss, true.
I don't
Let's see,
hate
freezes a
them as-
peach.
oh, yeah.
Hey, there we go, a third bluebird. Easy level 2. He's gonna be able to get a early tier 3, which is, you know, clearly something desirable. I guess he just wants 1 more toucan now for the level 2 toucan.
Yeah, it appears so. Sorry, I accidentally muted myself and failed to unmute.
Oh,
I
I
was,
was
like,
like, oh,
trying
he
to
must
help.
have gone to go do something.
No, I was like trying to like jump in, and I'm like, oh wait a second, whoops.
Glad you got that sorted though.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No
But yeah,
worries.
I was about to say about the
Ooh.
oh, look at these stats. Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
so gorgeous.
Broccoli's big brain there.
Yeah.
What were you about to say?
Yeah, so the beauty of the oh shoot, what unit were we talking about? The seahorse is if you just make it like a big stat battery, it's got a sweet effect tied to it. Like it's just really solid overall.
It does. You know, tier 1 units that have good effects, hard to come by.
Mm-hmm.
That you would want to keep late game, and Seahorse is one of them.
That's for sure. We are gonna see the peacock. It's a strange
Ooh.
day when peacock is a unit that people are like, yeah, that's a unit that I want.
I love it.
Just-
And we haven't been able
Oh.
to see like Peacock taken from the beginning. We've only seen Peacock teams like late game. So I'm
Mhm.
excited to see how this progresses if it stays along.
Yeah.
Would you not want to? Oh wait, Peacock's ability was changed from last I remember.
Yeah,
Now if
so
it's
it's a
hurt, it just
flat
gains
bonus. Mhm.
4. Okay. Would you not want to? Yeah, I was thinking Peacock and back to give it even more attack would have been the play here.
Yeah,
It does go with it.
with the extra health, I think that is definitely worthwhile. I think
Yeah.
that does have some diminishing returns after a certain point, and it's
Oh.
going to hit that point pretty soon. So that's a nice win right there.
Interesting. Markoto had an owl for some reason. I don't think he had like a dog or anything like that.
Hmm. I mean, Owl is still a worthwhile buy sell, I would say. You can.
Oh
hold it
yeah,
for a
even
turn.
without like units that work with it.
Yeah, it's a 2-cost random pair, and if you have a plan on keeping those units, then I would say it's worth it.
Yeah, that's very fair actually. He does get a caterpillar here. Caterpillar was buffed, I believe, recently, whereas in its when it becomes a butterfly, it's 3/3 now. I believe it
Ooh,
was 1/1 before.
huh. That's really
So it can no
interesting.
longer be just killed by a level 1 iguana or other units that only deal 1 damage.
Yeah, so Caterpillar is probably one of the most degenerate broken units in
Yeah.
in the mixed pack. So
agree.
there's the tapir strategy. There's just like a million different ways to make it very good. One of my favorites that I just recently found out about is that if you have a seagull, you can give it mushroom repeatedly, and it'll cycle. You get
Oh my
up to
God.
3 50-50 butterflies if you have a 50-50 and a mushroom seagull at tier 3.
That is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard you say. Oh God.
Yeah, it's insane. And
Oh, he does get an early penguin here. Does he go with it? Oh
yeah,
he does.
he's just gonna sell off the pillar because it is just like good stats or good sell value at the end of the day.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
He can get a level 2 peacock as well. Hey, that's
Yeah.
nice. Does he go with 4-man team here, do you think, or wait until next turn?
Looks like he's just gonna do it right now. Yep, there it is. And a
Oh,
Dolphin
hey.
Freeze. He's probably just gonna think about this, because I imagine with that opposing team, it doesn't look like it's getting too much value just yet.
Yeah, I am I am happy to see a guinea pig in someone's team. It's ever since its recent change, it's been a lot more interesting, I think. You just need 3 of them to get a level 3.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Very nice.
That's very neat. So basically you get to combine them. So they're the same creature that spawns in. Yeah.
They were a different creature formerly, and you needed it wasn't as nearly as good.
It was basically just worse chinchilla at that point.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, that is a very good change. Ooh, we've got some
double yak.
incoming.
Okay. The meat surprisingly important there. Secured a tie.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many like bee-based ties from or like victories from what I've seen.
Oh no, we haven't really even seen Badger at all either.
Yeah,
Badger or bee,
which is kind of surprising because it's been like such a mainstay for so long. I don't hate the bee on Toucan early either. She's gonna get a broccoli freeze by the looks of it here. What
does broccoli go on here?
I don't know if it goes on anything. I don't like it on any of these units, to be honest.
Me neither. You were gonna say something?
Oh, yeah. What are your thoughts on... Shoot, I forgot. My bad.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe it'll come back to you.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, have you, ever used Pug at all? Oh, he does get the leech. There we go.
There it is. The combo is now in play. Looks like the cucumber cannot be purchased. We're buffing up the penguin, huh? That's interesting.
Oh, that is interesting.
Another leech. We're just rolling right past it. So the leech is not a mainstay long unit for this one, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess you're just trying to get some good attack for now. Now, what is the plan with these broccoli? Is it for Peacock, I suppose?
I would imagine so. It's just faster than Lollipop because it's right then and there. But, yeah, it's still a loss to Markoto on that round. We're now dead even at 11-11.
Okay, yeah, you're going with the broccoli now, it looks like.
It appears
that
so.
is, yeah, you know, that's fair.
It's a lot of stats.
It is, and he gets melon armor on it as well.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. I think one of the big things here is that you don't need too much attack, because obviously if your opponent has, if you've got like way more attack than what your opponent has health, then you're just wasting it. So this unit is huge and easily able to kill everything already.
The only possible use for extraordinarily unbalanced health and attack is, I guess, if you want to kill through melon armor, but even then, more HP always good.
Yeah, I think that we're given such an abundance of customization for how much attack versus health we want in this new landscape that it's really interesting to see how people go about balancing that. Some very interesting freezes by Calyresis here. Some last moment panic as well. Oh, that's a pale blobfish. So tempting, but he doesn't do it.
Yeah, no one's gone for pill blobfish. That makes me a little sad. That could be interesting. I mean, it'd give credence to its existence, I suppose. It hasn't really had much use. Okay, he does get another loss there. Markoto has taken a clear lead, but I'm still liking the look of his team.
Yeah, that hatching chick definitely helped a bunch. The scaling here, though, for Calyresis is definitely solid, and I'm definitely a fan of at least 2 of these units sticking around long term.
Oh, do you think Turtle's sticking around? He didn't freeze the pill last turn, which I imagine you would have done if you want to pill the turtle.
Currently does not cost money. You play it on the beta branch, Undead.
Maybe it was just an oversight. I don't know. But yeah, that skunk is nice. It's going to go up against the seahorse. Seahorse level 2. What does that do?
Oh man, I'm not sure actually.
So Seahorse as it is when it faints, it moves a unit on the other person's team, I think. So maybe it's 2 units instead. The
If
front
it
2
starts
units?
moving multiple units, that would be really nice. It might just... I thought it pulled a unit forward, maybe? Or is that...
I don't think it pulls unit forwards. I think it pushes them back, if I recall. Level 2 toucan does kind of lose a little value here.
Yeah,
Because
just a
its meat
bit.
is replaced, but that could be a necessary sacrifice.
Just getting the units in the perfect lineup can be really tricky.
All right, so wait, what does Seahorse do here? Wait, I was watching for it and I didn't even quite see.
Yeah, the speed is very high. It's tricky to follow everything there. But the microbe coming out from Arkodo and double bus essentially in play with that parrot, and it is doing absolute work. Very, very tricky to overcome that sort of composition, even with the insane raw stats that Calyresis is putting on the board at this point. I think that in order to win, we're going to need to see some better synergies rather than just more stats.
Yeah. Looks like he's going for some short-term wins with the double hawks. Should be nice. As it currently is, it'll take out some melon armor and I believe kill the yak in the back, which should be enough for a win this time.
Yeah, it looks like some very nice potential damage, but we're still seeing some pivots coming out. Honestly, this front hawk feels like a bit of a waste against the potential melon armor. I think the microbe snipe kind of covers that. Unless he's got them in a proper attack order, it looks like he's going to pivot back. Interesting.
I think the melon armor is going to be wasted now, right?
There's definitely a lot of consideration having to go on in a very short amount of time. It's super hard to... Oh, look at that. He predicted the front micro. Huge.
That is big brain. That is big brain.
But it's still not going to be enough because Vulture's insane.
Fucking Vulture. Not again.
It's so good.
That was pretty good.
Holy moly. All right.
What's he doing this turn? You got bell pepper, you got turkey frozen, you got tapir, deer, lots of stuff to consider.
Yeah, frozen turkey, always a pain in the butt. Takes forever to cook. Let's see if he can find a way to get it onto the board. It's going to be really hard to overcome this team. Markoto has gone pure synergy. He doesn't have any scaling to speak of, but he's got some insane tempo going into this next turn. The hawk is being considered either for a keep or a sell.
Ooh, yep,
it
that's
looks
a sell.
like it is going to be a sell indeed.
You know, I would love right now. I mean, it's actually pretty rough with the low resources you have, but Lollipop on Peacock at some point would have been nice.
Oh, the furious realization that he just minus the +6/+6 there.
Oof.
Oh, that is pain. That is pure pain. Calyresis is clearly a little bit flustered in this closing round.
From Turkey.
Well, Turkey's only getting the one proc anyway. Can't get a proc on that back deer.
Tapir's got to get that deer, so you got to have it in the back. Ooh,
huge snipe.
God. Look at that team.
It is still not enough. The synergy Markoto put together there at the tail end was just too much. The vulture, the deer, the whale, it was all perfect. And regardless of how big that peacock got, it wasn't enough.
Yeah, looking at this team, look at everyone's stats other than the peacock there. That was rough. Didn't have too much else going for him.
Yeah, there just was not enough scaling, unfortunately.
But yeah, I agree though. What Markoto played that game so well. Let's see.
All right.
Do I have anyone else we want to switch to at the moment?
Let's see. Here's Kyogre in a match. We haven't gone on him for a little while. It looks like Lightmare's in around, so we can head over there. Yeah, let's head over to Lightmare.
Yeah, sounds good.
All
Let's
right.
see. Looks like Lightmare's looking at some replays at the moment.
Ah, he's tricked me. Got me with a bamboozle.
Again.
Look at that. He had a really huge cassowary that one game. That's interesting. This will be a good insight into seeing what his end game teams will look like, actually. Are you seeing anything that stands out to you here?
Let's see. Looking at it, you know, I'm seeing a lot of units we don't see in the 1v1s. This is for Arena specifically, I believe he's looking at.
No, they're marked as versus April 10th, which is today.
I think no. You can see the trophies on the right side to show how many trophies he got that game.
Oh.
I think the versus button would bring you to the versus replays.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it's saying versus -10.April.
It is a bit confusing, isn't it?
Yeah. It's definitely peculiar. I'm seeing a lot of Moose, though. So Moose scales up based on having higher tier units in your shop, which encourages like a freeze strategy.
He is. I am hearing it is 1v1 actually, and the trophies represent the amount of matches won. That makes more sense. So these are 1v1 teams. So in that case, we still see a lot of units that we haven't really seen yet today.
For sure.
Like Moose. Oh god, level 3 Dragonfly.
Yeah, Dragonfly's an interesting unit.
Yeah.
Just for anybody who's not clear on what that one does, here, do I have to... I actually don't know what that one does off the top of my head, do you?
Yes, it's... come on, work, brain. What is it? It gives stats if... oh, right. It gives stats for, like, a unit of each level, I recall. So if you have, like, a level 1, a level 2, and a level 3, it gives stats each of them.
Respectively.
Oh, no. Batangle says it gives stats for... It gains stats for every tier 4 or above. Okay. I swear it was something different once upon a time.
For tier 4 and above. That sounds like what the Moose does. Not
really?
The Dragonfly.
Oh, is that the Moose? Okay, I don't know then.
I think you're right on the Dragonfly. It gives stats based on the level of your teammates, like whatever your friends' levels are. It looks like Onet might be in a game. Maybe we should head over that way.
Oh yeah. Let's go check in on Onet.
All right, so it looks like we've got a round 1 start, which is excellent. We're getting Pig stats. Oh, it's painful. So Pig got buffed to a 4-1. I didn't know about that. Did you?
Oh, yeah. He did get buffed up. Even more attack for this boy.
And we're going to be getting an early
Small
triple.
Screen, not going to edit things to make it more visible.
Yeah, try to...
There we go. He does seem to be a fan of the Pig, doesn't he? We've not really seen anyone else go Pig today. Yeah, level 2 even. Big Pig, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, the tempo on the Pig can be pretty darn good. It's got its benefits, that's for sure.
Oh my word.
I'm trying to,
like... Are you... This is so weird. Yeah, like... Your volume changes depends on what channel we're in. I am very confused.
Really?
Oh god, now you're much louder than you were. What is going on?
I turned away from my micro. I've got a condenser microphone. It's very sensitive.
That's probably...
I turned away from one moment. I apologize. Gotta speak into the microphone. All right, so we've got a very tight early game here still, but that's a large bluebird scaling up. And it looks like this Pig might end up going the distance for Onet. It's just going to stay here the whole game.
Yes. This is what we need.
Oh,
no.
Is he going to sell it?
Considering selling? Was that the small pig? Oh, level 3 Pig. Let's go.
Look at that. We're Big Pig. Feed it all the bacon. Do it. No. Okay.
Feed it the bacon? Oh, no. Wait a minute. That's...
Yeah, never mind.
It is...
Maybe not.
Although I think they commit that regardless,
yeah,
I suppose.
I think if you gave a pig a chance, it probably would.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got some really nice scaling coming out. This pig is literally just gonna be it's not gonna have an effect.
Yeah, the tropical fish as well is a nice pickup to give some extra HP to that pig, which already has a bit of unbalanced stats.
For sure.
The otter luck has been with him. He's gotten level 2. He doesn't have any more. I mean, he just turned 3. I guess the otters have been fine.
Yeah.
Next round, is this his opponent's team or his own?
That one read Calyresis, which
Okay,
would
so
suggest that, yeah. So I guess this is Onet versus Kalia then.
Oh yeah. Oh, it does have broccoli here. Thinking about feeding that to the pig.
Broccoli is just so strong, but it looks like he's just going to roll past it. He really needs units, and I think that's what he's going to be prioritizing here. He's going to grab a salamander, which is at start of battle, gain, or basically if it buys a friend with a, is it a start of battle effect that it gains?
Oh, sorry, for which unit?
Yeah, so the salamander gains attack when you buy a start of battle unit.
Yeah, it was nerfed a bit recently, and now only buffs attack, but it still has use.
Yeah, it's like a bad dog.
A bad dog. Yeah, it's a bit situational. Oh wait, does it give? Oh right, it gives 2 attack at level 1. Okay.
So you can gain attack much faster, and with all like what we've been saying, with the manipulation of like the attack and health stuff with the broccoli, the shrimp, and the lollipop, you can actually get a lot of value out of that.
Thank God we didn't get like another pack 2. The abilities in this pack are so much more interesting than pack 2 in my opinion. Lots of more game-changing stuff. Yeah, especially the foods.
Yeah, some of the food does feel like really, really strong though. I'm wondering.
Oh yeah, which ones do you think should be like nerfed?
I think broccoli and shrimp are too strong.
Broccoli and shrimp specifically. What would you change it to then? Maybe like +3 instead?
I'm not sure. I think I'd allow broccoli, or I'd allow shrimp to kill, I think.
Oh, I see. Allow it to kill instead. That's something for shrimp. Can't really do negative attack for the broccoli though.
Yeah, that would be kind of funny if you just started healing your opponent for having negative attack though. There might be some sort of mechanic there.
Jordan says broccoli's my entire game plan hold up.
Yeah, exactly. Broccoli's too good. It's way too good.
I don't think the team's gotten that great of improvements this past turn.
No. I mean,
is he
turtle.
really going for a level 3 pig at this point?
I mean, it's 2 units away from a triple, so like it's a triple. Yeah. That's pretty much it. But yeah, I would say like with the turtle gain, like that is basically you just got a second pig, kinda, which is very, very good. That's
true enough.
That's how I always think about the turtle.
The trades there were so favorable to him. That was very nice. Yeah, I don't think has the shrimp gotten much use here. I don't think he's been buy selling all that much.
No, this shrimp on the board has done basically nothing. The salamander is also kind of dead in the water right now. It hasn't really had.
Yeah.
And there's just no space for it to get more stats right now. And this giraffe is looking very tantalizing. But I would say it has a little bit of anti-synergy with the tropical fish. We are going to see both a classic combo, one as old as time, the giraffe ox. I like it.
Ooh, yeah. Ox is going to get nice and statted pretty quick. Pig getting extra HP. Pretty nice to have him scaling a little bit with the fact that he's getting melon armor. Although, does that mean that Pig's not going to get the melon armor when you kill the turtle?
No, well, you would get the melon. It would just overwrite the pickle.
Yeah, but I mean, like, does he want that to happen?
I think he's just going to keep this turtle around for a while.
Yeah, that makes sense. It is getting very used.
It's also possible that he has a potential weakness composition going, and if he's got something like bacteria or microbe in the later game, then obviously turtle is very handy to have prepared. Oh, so close.
Yeah, gets the loss there. He has a snail in the shop.
He does luck into it. We'll probably see that buy sold right away. Yep, there it is.
When you have a giraffe, it's pretty easy to just sell it for the snail because it does like 4 turns of giraffe work for 2 gold at once.
Now, there is one thing I want to point out about Snail in these custom packs. So in a normal pack, you don't actually have the same unit balance as you do in the custom packs. In custom packs, you have to have 10 of every tier unit. And because of that, it actually makes the Snail significantly more rare. So going for level ups with it and getting like bigger bonus stats is exceedingly hard and like borderline impossible in this mode. So you'll pretty much only ever see people go for single Snails.
Oh yeah, a good point. I believe there was another unit that was heavily impacted by that point, and I can't recall what it was. Just because it was like, because of the same reasoning you said, 10 units instead of the previous smaller number.
Yeah, the level ups are definitely rarer, but that said, there's many more ways of gaining XP now. Indirectly, not through the standard means. So I think that you could potentially build a team around it if you really wanted to.
Ooh. Turtle getting buffed pretty quick here. He has both a monkey and a sunfish giving it stats. Oh, the giant bird at the back for the second turn in a row.
Indeed, that bluebird is, it's got its name on him. It's getting him.
Oh, you gotta get the pig to level 3 though. Come on, you put so much into it at this point.
I mean, when it shows up, I'm sure it will. No hesitation. But turn 9 is right around the corner here, which means that tier 6 units will be available on the triple, which can definitely be some big game-changing stuff. I feel like that's a super pivotal turn if you can make it there in a 1 versus 1. If you're ever down, you're not out in that scenario.
True enough. Fortune cookie. Have we seen too much fortune cookie today? I feel like it's just too RNG. Wouldn't you rather just go for cheese every time?
Yeah, nobody wants to flip a coin to see if they win or not, I feel. And if you do, you're kind of a weirdo, just saying. But
the monkey.
I mean,
it works, yeah. I mean,
it's reasonable.
Yeah, it's just silly.
It's not too much benefit, but I think it might be good enough here. And then you just
Parrot
put that in
ox,
behind the ox, yeah. So this gets him. Like,
hey.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
And he gets an early tier 6 with it, which could be very nice.
I don't hate the position here for Onet. I feel like he can definitely come out of this on the winning side.
Yeah.
There
there we go. Just enough attack.
That calculated, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We've got an
early tiger.
Yeah.
Blech. Not what you wanted to see.
Yeah, not on this squad, unfortunately. I'm interested to see if this zebra gets chosen, because I feel like you just love that. I don't know about you, but I just love to buy and sell that unit. I just no-brain it every time.
Wait, the zebra?
Yeah.
Oh, it is very satisfying. I've only made 1 pack up to this point. I need to make a buy-sell build.
Yeah, there's so much potential in it. Now, would this lionfish be effective against his opponent's team?
Oh, that's a good question. What did he have in front?
He just got a lionfish level up out of nowhere. Damn.
What does parrot lionfish do? I don't think that's useful.
I think they would just stack the weak, and that doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Oh, there's okay, it'll get rid of chili.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I like that.
Has a use. And then it could also, at level 2, I think, get rid of the Ox's melon armor?
Yes,
depending on the order? Okay.
Yeah, that will be pretty solid. That's actually a really good Ox counter.
Yeah.
It's not quite Raccoon, but I feel like it's going to have some really nice late game staying power. It's definitely his first, like, fancy unit, you know?
Yeah. You know, I've never actually seen Raccoon used to great effect. I'm sure it happens, but I've just... Okay, barely gets the tie here.
Yeah, there it is. Done. The parrot is just putting in so much value. It's such a great, like, unit just to have as a temporary. There's a lot of potential for his opponent to pivot around, though.
I think one scary thing about this team right now, there's not much room for, like... Yeah, I feel like you have to pill the turtle at some point, or get rid of parrot. Pig and lionfish at least are locked in, I think.
Yeah, everything else could potentially go, but that's the problem, is a lot of these units are like half invested, and it becomes really, really tricky to know what to get rid of when you've got these units that are all at like a middle ground. But I would say his opponent has a very similar problem to
Oh
some
yeah.
degree. That parrot is leveled up, which means it's going to be really hard to part with. But he's got deer or ox, so he could pivot off of either one of those if he wants. And that giraffe is half leveled, so we could see that going as well. So I would say that there's like a little bit of flexibility on his opponent's team, but I would say that Onet's team has a lot more potential to actually have units swap out.
Ooh, God, freezing a lot here. I'm not sure what White Tiger would be great with. Like, I mean, you're gonna have to hope for a good unit in the future, right? Otherwise, it would just be Tiger Turtle with this team. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe level 3 Lionfish. When he's already level 2, that's rough. Good trades this turn, though, and he does get the win.
Beautiful. That Lionfish put in a ton of work there. I think that this White Tiger is frozen for another future potential synergy. That's the only thing I can think of. He's going to find a tier 1 or a level 1 tier 6, and he's just going to buff it to tier 3 and hope that that gives him the tempo for the victory, if I had to guess.
Okay, buy sell. You get 2 free pairs.
Maybe he is going to do the microbe strategy. So he can tier 3 the turtle and then have White Tiger microbe.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good there.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you sell ox then.
Yeah,
huh?
I think that would be the play. He's contemplating it. I think he should make this decision before he rolls though, because he wants to have more unit slots, but I guess not. Because he's just going to keep it and think about it. I think that it might be a fallback plan if that's the scenario that he's looking at here. Contemplating the lollipop, decides against it.
Chocolate doesn't seem all that useful unless you're planning to put it on a future unit. Oh, level 2 White Tiger. That's
okay. Oh, there's an orca and a vulture. This could be a major team pivot depending on how he wants to play it. But he leaves them both.
Not interested in either there.
Holy moly, that's very surprising.
Ooh, yeah, I really am surprised that his opponent's not gotten too much more impressive. I don't feel like this team's improving that much that it'd be insurmountable.
Well, I find this happens sometimes where you end up with a non-scaling team and it's just all about tempo, and your opponent ends up with a similarly low-scaling team trying to keep up. His opponent does have a bluebird and a giraffe, but those are just they're low-tier units. They're very slow.
Oh, if I remember right, his opponent here is Echo. I believe that's what it was.
It's so tricky to tell when people don't have their names. So you're supposed to swap your account directly before the bracket, because you can actually do some RNG manipulation. And yeah, you can basically know exactly which units will spawn where and that sort of thing if you've got all of the information on your account. So like the different accounts will have different levels of determinism.
I recall hearing that about Spider. Were there any other like units or combos involved with that?
Yeah, so the Orca Eagle you could potentially have go crazy if you had the correct account, but it would obviously require... oh my goodness, look at these trades. It looks like that is just not quite enough for Onet there. They're both on their last lives here.
Yeah, they're both on lethal. It's close. I don't know who I'm favoring here. Probably Echo. I just don't see a great way to improve the team this turn.
I think the summon build is going to be a lot more favorable. This microbe has been frozen forever. I don't even know if that thing's going to thaw out at this point. It's going to be real tough for him to find a win condition, but hopefully he can track something down. He's looking for a tier 6. That's a gorilla. Gorilla is pretty sweet, but not without stats. And we're seeing some stats come down on everything but the turtle's just such a bad one to hit, unfortunately, with the zebra.
I honestly probably just roll 3 times and hope for a magic unit that you could get to level 3. But he does decide to just go with the microbe.
Yep, that is the case. And he's basically saying I'm okay with getting a level 2 turtle
Yeah.
with my white tiger, which is a little sad, but it is what it is. Let's see
Ooh.
what kind of work can get put down here.
No.
No,
Yeah, God.
that's
Just too much
rough.
on the other team.
That is rough.
That was close, though.
Yeah, it was very close. I feel like the team just didn't quite come together for Onet there. And yeah, it was a scrappy fight for sure, but it was a really good one.
Absolutely. He played well, but his opponent played a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. All right, so where are we heading next? I see a game for Mumph and Callier. Does that mean that they're probably in a game together?
Maybe, but yeah, we should check them out.
Yeah.
I know neither of them stream,
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
Go ahead and take your pick.
Eeny, meeny, miny, Caliursis.
Alrighty. Here we go.
There we go.
We're already
Okay,
in
they
the
look
thick of it.
pretty mid-game right now, I think. Maybe late game. God, look at that!
Yeah,
look
that Kanga proc, though. Oh my goodness. Alright.
God, his opponent is undefeated right now. It should be
Yep.
Mumph, right? Yeah.
Yep. And, yeah, Calyresis trying to make that peacock work. Looks like it's not working once again. This dog is very far behind schedule, but hopefully it can start to scale up. Now, Eagle is huge. I feel like that's a lot of potential tempo.
Eagle would be my pick here for sure. Out freezing the shark. It's gonna be a 3-man squad, it looks like, which is a bit rough.
Yeah.
God, a level 2 dog only at 5-9 on turn 7. Didn't get much value out of that.
I feel like with the potential for a buy-sell squad, it really depends on what units he has available. I think it could still work, but he's definitely behind schedule. He's running late.
Yeah, agreed there. Okay. Wasn't interested in the beaver, which I guess is fair.
I like this shop freeze, actually. All these units are going to be really helpful next turn, I think.
Right, the mole, if I recall, if you buy it, it gives stats to adjacent units.
Yep, it is like basically a controlled better otter. It's very nice. I enjoy it.
Oh, that
Look
massive
at
ox.
stats. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, the Ox Kanga is a really good tempo if you can get some good stats on the Ox.
Yeah. Alright, he does get to use the snail, of course. I think that was to be expected.
Yeah, for sure.
And then mole is going to be next. Hamster, what is hamster for here? Just to roll for better units?
Yeah, I believe so. Also, note that panda. The panda is actually what's helping make that Ox so dang strong. So it's a 115. It's been broccolied up to high heck. And yeah, it's definitely working for him to get that kangaroo just snowballing out of control. I feel like this is a strategy that literally just could not have existed before now, which is always so wonderful to see.
Ooh, skips the pig.
Mm-hmm.
Who's his buy-sell now? Is he just going to get rid of hamster again after buying it?
I think so. He's looking for something very specific. I wonder if he found it.
Parrot eagle.
Yeah, I mean, it's
some value.
really good power level.
I don't think it's going to be enough.
We'll see. It really depends on what the eagle morphs into. I think.
Prage.
Let's see here. Very, very favorable.
I didn't even
praise.
realize that was a ram, not a sheep. Oh, we got an orca.
Look at that. There
Ooh,
it is.
the orca.
1 HP. There, I told those eagles. Eagle orca into imagination.
It was an
beautiful.
ant that gave plus 1 HP.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Wow.
Such incredible, like and really, really good unit placement there. That shrimp was made perfect use of, exactly 5 HP on the mantis. So Calyresis is doing the math. He's making sure he's setting everything up just right. This would be a huge sell. This is one of his biggest units. Is he gonna do it?
717 iguana, goodbye.
There it is.
Getting a turkey instead.
He's doing another sell, another buy. Eagle running eagles wide.
Turkey with 3 eagles is pretty nice.
Yeah, that's a lot of stats. The synergy can carry you if you don't have the stats already based, right?
Still have 8 gold this turn as well. Is he combining eagles and maybe going deer?
He's contemplating it. Looks like that's what his plan is. He's gonna go ahead and invest in the deer. Yeah, there it is.
He's got great potential to get level 2s if he just survives this round. If he survives here, he's got a great chance, I think.
I think this one is going to be an even more iffy round than last. His opponent didn't move too much and had a ram. Now he's got an octopus.
Ooh, octopus.
Oh, the mammoth?
Oh, God.
Not big enough, though.
Too big.
There it is. Wump takes it over Calyresis. Keep in mind, Wump has been the player running hard tempo this whole time, just trying to close out games before people can get their footing. And it seems like it's doing pretty well. I'm honestly very intrigued by the way they've been playing, because it seems fairly different from what everybody else has been up to.
Yeah, agreed. He's been doing very well. First off, he went against, I believe it was, God, was it Cleanup? I don't know. Wait, who was his group? He's been up against, let's see, Mumph. He was up against Markoto, Calyresis, and Batangle. And in most of the games we've seen him in, he has done quite well. Pretty big, pretty difficult people to go up against, and I think his strat has been working out well.
Yeah,
the tempo, like you said.
It's been very fun to see. I'm very happy to see the variety, and not only in units, but in playstyle, because there is like the standard slow roll where you just get like the nice mid-game spike with your scaling units, and then there's an even slower meta than that you often see in Arena, because it just doesn't work in 1 versus 1 really.
I just wish we got to see what went wrong against Markoto. I believe Markoto 2-0'd him.
Well, there is Markoto is streaming, so there is a VOD that we can go and review at some point if it comes to that.
VOD reviews, I dig it.
So let's see who we've got on here.
Oh yeah. Anyone we can switch to?
I see Echo in a match. I also see, let's see here. Yeah, it looks like it's just Echo in a match right now, so I suppose that's our choice.
Yeah, let's go check out Echo. Wait.
Alrighty. You said wait, but I missed it. What was that?
Oh, no, nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay, my bad. Oh, we got a dromedary run going here.
More dromedaries. Oh, man, dromedary was so fun in that previous game where they 15-0'd, I believe.
Yeah, it's very crazy. And dromedary is just like such a solid unit. I don't know if this is like the optimal way to play dromedary, but I haven't messed with the unit nearly as much as I should. It's just kind of scary to sit there with a full frozen board and be like, yeah, I'm just gonna win in a couple turns. It's not a big deal.
Whenever I play the second or the first expansion, it's pretty much exclusively what I do. It's the most interesting. I say it's interesting. You just freeze things, you know, and it's simple, but it's fun. He's losing a lot, which, you know, I guess is to be expected with going dromedary, but still a bit rough. It's certainly not as ideal as going 15-0.
That's for certain. Oh, some bacon being rolled over. We got a pear. That's a lot better than bacon, apparently, in this world. I don't know about that.
I think it would have gotten an extra use if you just went for the bacon, right?
Yeah. Not to mention, I feel like bacon should just give you some sort of... I think it should be like +6, -2 or something. That sounds like a bacon stat. Give you a bunch of attack.
My God. It certainly would make sense for the minus health, I'll say that much.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the last round he throws before he gets the units in.
Yeah.
The rough units. One of them's a mouse, and there's another that's a dog. I guess sheep and raccoon have use. But...
Yeah, those are the only two that I'd be really happy to have scaled up, especially this early. Look at this crazy microbe hedgehog shenanigans, and it's working. It's beautiful. I respect it. I respect it a lot. But yeah, back to the bacon talk really quick. I was thinking, what if we have it where it's like it gives you a heart attack in a couple turns? So like it gives you a huge boost and then you die.
Going for that mega realism.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool.
You know what? I like it. It's like a pill alternative.
in this process, we're seeing the full squad be sold here by Echo, and the dromedary has left its mark.
Yeah, he even before the dromedaries were sold, he was actually not as far behind as I would have thought. So these wins in the next few turns should come pretty free. His opponent is at how many hearts was it?
We'll have to find out in the moment. But yeah, I think that his opponent could still take some victories, even against this, with the right synergies. So we'll see what gets built up.
Yeah, it's just so risky going to lethal for this team.
For sure. And in 1v1s, there's so many like nasty tricks that you can pull on your opponent. Like just, you could just have a couple of scorpions froze and be like, oh yeah, by the way, your units are dead. Lamau. So we've got a 4-piece actually built here. And not even close.
Yeah, simple win there. Oh, his opponent was at full HP there, like 14 hearts or something.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got lots of time to try to catch up to this giant statted team.
Yep, or try to find some sort of shenanigan. So we're skipping over the crow here, and that's kind of an odd play.
Oh yeah, you like using the crows?
I mean, it's a decent. What is it? I guess it's a very expensive chocolate.
Yeah, but it's early, I suppose, right?
Yeah, it's a chocolate nonetheless.
Yeah, I use crow in my pack. I have fun with it, but I don't really know. Oh no, yeah, you could have used the expensive chocolate just on the poodle there. Level 2 poodle would be nice. And with the the stats he has, he can afford spending a lot of money on just a chocolate, in my opinion.
I'm not sure if he could have spent it on the poodle because he had to. So he would have had to place the crow and then sell the crow, right? Wow, is that a lioness on his opponent's squad? That's exactly
like the first lioness we've seen.
That's exactly what he needs to come back here.
Yeah, lioness is very scary for Echo right now. He did not want to see that on his opponent's team at all.
Yeah, the scaling is happening, and it looks like he might just be locking in these units that he's got. They're all like pretty much trash, but I mean, I guess this is what he's stuck with to some extent.
Yeah, his benefits are that his stats are already high, and he does have some scaling, but his opponent's going to have scaling as well, but they can get better units. So if you get really good abilities, then I think his opponent will probably take the win here, but I think they have the lives for it.
Yeah, the name of the game here is finding the right synergy, so I think it is a little bit a roll of the dice, but all it's going to take is like a decent summon synergy or a couple of melon armors in the right location. Like there's so many different ways to overcome a composition where it's just stats, right? That is 3 lionesses.
Oh god.
Oh my god. Oh,
that's a yikes. Oh man.
How do you beat that? Oh my god, that's gross.
I guess we'll find out how you beat that or not.
Oh my god. This is
so
gonna
his
get
shops,
real nasty.
Yeah. Does he?
I think all he's looking for at this point is probably food. Maybe he'll take a raccoon level up. I personally would. Raccoons start stealing multiple foods, and it's real silly.
Yeah.
Just plow through a bunch of melons. It's always wonderful.
I don't know. I don't think Echo's out of it, even against 3 lionesses.
Yeah, I mean, he still needs to find the units. His opponent needs to find the units, right?
Yeah, needs to find the units, and I think this turn should be another win for Echo. So I think it will come down to lethal versus lethal next turn.
I agree. I think that it's gonna come down to it. I do like that turkey though. That's gonna be a nice little extra pivot bonus for whatever units come out onto the board, and it's already mushroomed up, so he's committing to a summon strategy probably.
He also got a turtle for that extra melon armor, and the turtle has good stats now. That's a level 3 poodle.
There's also a fly potentially in play. I'm not sure if the stats of a fly outweigh any of the stats on the board, but it looks like we're just going to be spending on food here for the last round.
Okay.
Looks like this one's just going to be quick and dirty.
Oh, wait, he got another lioness that turn. He has a level 2 and a level 1 lioness now.
That is truly terrifying. But this poodle has been silently carrying, I would say. That, like, the amount of bonus stats this poodle has provided is actually incredible.
Yeah, he would have much worse chances were he to never have gotten that poodle for sure.
I think I would have liked seeing the mushroom on the sheep and put it in the back, possibly.
Yeah, I don't think he's putting as much thought into positioning as he should. I feel like that sheep might be potent in a different spot.
It's definitely one of those brain off sort of builds, though. I can see, like, getting into the rhythm of just zooming through your turns.
Yeah. Like, sheep, as of now, there's potential for poodle to just trade with turkey and end in a draw. If there was sheep, then the sheep would win in that versus. All right, this is it. They're both at lethal.
Here we go.
He did get a octopus as well as a rooster.
Some very scary units, and that is a gorgeously put together team. I can't believe how well that came together. What a wonderful summon team at the tail end.
The turkey and rooster did a lot for his opponent that turn, and like the chick survived 3 hits, I think. Or no, he died on the 3rd hit.
Still far more than a chick should survive. It was incredible.
God, that was such a close game. That was great.
It was very well played.
Let's see. Shall we switch?
Yes, I imagine we should. I see. Who is it? A-Boy is going. Batangle.
Oh yeah. I would love to go see what he's up to.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna do a quick BRB, so carry me. I'll be right back.
Sure thing. I'm carrying him upon my shoulders. How are you doing, Alias's chat? Might I say you look mighty dazzling today. I do. This team is very interesting. Double rooster. You don't see too much. The ox gets some extra value, which lets it take out the bluebird there. Big ol' mosquito carries the rest of the team. We're currently watching Batangle, by the way. His opponent at the moment, I believe they were anonymous. I'll check into who that is. Okay, he's paying attention to who's going to be in his tier 6. Does he have potential for an early tier 6 right now? No, I guess he's just... Oh yeah, he's seeing what the eagle can produce for him. Let's see, this is... There we go. Batangle, I know! Batangle! I hope he does super well this tournament. I'd be excited for that. But yeah, the eagle in the front, very nice. I didn't catch what tier 6s he could get out of it. Let's see what happens here. Oh, his opponent has a seal. Interesting. Oh, he got a boar. The boar actually has his ability work, which is honestly a surprise. Okay, his opponent's at lethal now. He just needs to cinch the win this turn and he'll be good. Gets an early snake, which is something perhaps? You have 2 units it could be good behind. Eagle and rooster. Give him at least 2 guaranteed pop-offs. Puts it behind the eagle. Makes sense. There's a chicken? No, your opponent's at lethal. Surely you don't chicken. Maybe you do. For insurance purposes. Who do you sell, though? Yeah, there's not a great unit to sell. I think you just skip it. Also thinking about a penguin. You do have 3 level 2s. That's honestly kind of tempting. But yes, this is likely Batangle versus Mumph right now, I believe. No, God, I'm completely wrong. It's Batangle versus
Hey there, Kawaii.
Excuse me.
This game is,
I'm looking at
we're on the beta
the
branch
board
right now.
And for some reason it says he's
but
going
you can
against
download it on
Mumph.
Steam too. I've got it on Steam.
Not sure why.
But we're commentating over
freezes
people
the
in
extra
beta.
eagle. I imagine he's going for level 2, perhaps double eagle. Hey, is that you?
Yes, indeed. Hello.
Welcome back.
So what's going on in this game? It looks like a very classic summon team is being built right now.
Yeah, we have Batangle slightly ahead of Markoto right now. He's going with a lot of summoning things. He did get a snake early last turn. Markoto's got some really high attack and just well-statted units, though.
Yeah,
and he does finally bring it back.
It's looking very close.
Yeah, I did see Batangle skip over a chicken. He had the opportunity, but decided to just kind of go for the kill, I think.
Yeah,
And
it seems so.
it might not work out for him great here. He could Tiger Snake.
I like it. I think it might be a decent play here. I
Could be a
think
play.
he's got so many units that are like half invested once again. We've talked about this before, but like this Ox is a 7/7 level 2, so there's 9 gold invested in a minimum, and then that's before pills, of course. There's been a lot of value that's gone into this thing, and it is not where it needs to be in terms of power level. So
Yeah.
I think that it might be like a huge detriment to his team currently.
So much gold invested, and he's the most sellable unit. It's sad to see. I honestly don't think Tiger Snake's the play, as tempting as it is. Yeah, skips past the Tiger.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded like a backline Tiger Eagle maybe, and then run like a Rooster Snake.
That would be interesting to see. Oh, look at that! The chili takes out the skunk perfectly. Excuse me.
The skunk is
oh my god.
Definitely like a slight weak point on Marcoda. Oh, there it is. That's just it right there.
He just needed the kill.
There it is.
Trades were so perfect. He had just enough attack on so many units to take them out.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice.
That's very nice.
Tango, let's go.
Okay.
Let's see. Who do we have now? Any quirky little teams playing? Aliasarchives, it looks like, is playing.
I've been waiting for a Requar game. He's just an enigma. He's been missing all the games.
Oh yeah, is Requar? Oh, there he is. He's in a channel with Mumph right now, but none of them are streaming.
Yeah, let's jump over to Aliasarchives for now.
Will do.
Oh, well, there it is. Aliasarchives takes it against Wump in an epic game. One that we will never see.
I would have hated to have missed that game, that finale.
Jeez.
So many shrimp dogs today. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the dog is, it's the great dog renaissance with all the buy-sell strats, right?
He's returned. He's been reborn.
I think he's better than ever, actually. I think this might be his strongest iteration with the mixed deck building.
So let's see. What's the bracket looking like right now?
It's a good question. Let's find out. The completion doesn't look any different.
I know.
I'm just wondering if this is ever gonna finish.
No, we're gonna be going until Tuesday, man.
Yeah. It's gonna be a whole nother day.
Let's see. Is there anyone like done with all of their games? Looks like Cleanup is.
So Onet and Echo are set to face off in Pool 1, and then I think that's a complete bracket.
Oh, you're right, I think. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'll be nice.
Yeah, so these are coming along a little bit faster. They're saying like 16% progress, and I'm like, please no, not like this. I think the loading bar is just stuck, so we're actually fine.
Yeah, the classic loading bar. Yeah. Well, what have you been thinking about the game so far? Like, this is like the first custom pack tournament. It's really exciting to see all of these, the variety, the sheer variety.
I'm so glad we're just not seeing the same 3 pets over and over. It's
right?
wonderful. And like, I feel like despite these players being the best players in the game, there's still like a little bit of shakiness because of the beta branch. So like, there is so much room to perfect strategies and to like see absolutely obscene stats in early game scenarios and all sorts of different things like that. And yeah, I'm wondering what's gonna be the next big OP thing, because it seems like it might be something. We've seen so many strategies kind of bubble up.
Yeah, I think with like the things how they were before, where there weren't custom packs. Pack 1 was kind of solved almost, I guess you would say. But with custom packs, I don't know. I think the goal is to get to a point where there can never be a state in which the game is solved, because you can always come up with new counters for what takes over the meta, right?
For
People
sure.
will just need to test against it enough, and they'll find a way to beat it. And then someone will try to beat that one, and then just a never-ending cycle. I think that's the hope one day.
That's definitely my hope. I'd love to see a healthy variety in the meta permanently. And yeah, I really like that there's like a couple of animals that aren't in any of the packs that you can just kind of slot in.
Yeah.
It's very intriguing to me. There's so many like cool synergies that we can come up with, I'm sure.
That was a surprise to me for sure. I didn't realize that was the case at first. I was playing through pack 3 and I was like, oh cool, I think I know all the new animals now.
Yeah.
People tell me to go to custom packs. There's fucking 20 some new animals to
like,
know.
What is this? Yeah, it's wonderful. I love it. I definitely see people playing, but I don't see the game active. So it says here that Mumph and Batangle are playing. Maybe they didn't report their games, because I believe we watched those, right?
Mumph versus Batangle. God, man, my I can't keep track of all these names.
I get it. The brain mush is extreme, especially when it comes to this format, because we're in like a whirlwind of trying to find all the games, and I think we're doing a pretty okay job of it. But
you know what? We're doing a fantastic job. I think absolutely the best that can be done, really. Why don't I? You know, I'm gonna take a quick look to see if anyone's actually in a game. Real
Sounds
quick.
Good. All right, chat. How you doing today? I'm sorry that I've been so quiet in terms of talking toward chat, but I hope everybody here has been having a lovely time.
There's no games.
There's no games.
They're all gone. There's
all right.
No one to watch.
We'll just have to have a game. No, I think we might miss something then.
Like, I interrupted cleanup doing some commentary on his own. But yeah. Do you have any people you think are going to make it far? I think you have an eye on Mumph. You've said that you've liked his strategy.
Yeah, I think that he's a serious outlier in terms of his builds. So, like, I'm sure that every player probably has a tempo build, but it seems like all 3 of Mumph's or maybe even 4 of his decks are like tempo. So yeah, that is definitely an interesting player that I've been keeping my eye on. I mean, Caluresis, he's part of the Noita community. He's my boy. I'd love to see him go far. He's also got like tons of different strategies. There's Markoto has been, from what I've heard, has been grinding like crazy and looks pretty unstoppable. I'm interested to see how he does.
Yeah, Markoto's humble, but he does have a super good chance of taking it all. I think he was saying that he like thinks that Requar actually had the best chance of winning.
Mm-hmm.
He knew that Requar was apparently just really into all of the experimentation and whatnot that this tournament would bring, and probably put a lot of thought into his packs. But Markoto downplays himself a little bit, but he's got a super good chance. He is a several-time tournament winner after all. Yeah,
Requar is a noted big brainer though. He when he brings his A game, there's no other game quite like it. I'm interested. Gosh, I wish we could see one of his games. Why hasn't he been sending them? But yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's an invitational. Any one of these players could win it because they're all absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and they're all insane.
Yeah, they're very good. And while the dust has not settled, we are in the middle of the storm, and I don't think anybody knows quite what's going on yet. And that's the beauty of it.
Oh, hold up. Wait, oh, whoa, what? Wait, look in announcements chat.
Let's see.
Tay says, I'm canceling the tournament.
Fundamentally broken in a way that allows people to easily exploit an unintended mechanic to hang on, I'll read this out for everybody. This is from Tay, the tournament organizer. I'm canceling the tournament. I'm really sorry for wasting the time of everyone involved, including the casters and participants. Super Auto Pets, as of now, is fundamentally broken in a way that allows people to easily exploit an unintended mechanic to guarantee certain outcomes. Numerous people have been exploiting determinism to their advantage and has ruined the competitive integrity of the event. There is no way to limit determinism in any reasonable fashion, since there are ways around every countermeasure, including making a new account every game. I'm sorry to everyone that I've disappointed by canceling this tournament. I'm upset too, but I don't think there's a reason to continue going on with this. Once determinism is fixed, I'll try to contact the developers by hosting another tournament with a trophy hat. I'm going to be taking an extended break from the internet for the next few months. Thank you all for being such a great community, and I'm sorry it turned out this way. Have a good day.
Damn, do you know what he's talking about? The determinism there?
Yeah. So Caluresis explained it to me. Basically, I was talking about this earlier, but basically you can RNG manipulate every single interaction in the game, from unit spawns to like snipes and all that sort of thing, from like a mosquito even. And all you have to do is basically it's tied to your name. And there's like a bunch of weird interactions. I think that we might want to jump into a voice chat with some more people, and I imagine like Rekwar might be more knowledgeable about it. So yeah, let's jump in the general voice chat where there's a bunch of people, and we'll see if we can find a more reasonable end to this than this incredibly sad note.
Yeah, sounds good. Looks like.
Yeah, dude. Like fuck that.
That's fucking bullshit.
I'm not doing that. I'll be the
I get that.
Little baby.
Hey guys. So, we just got the message, and would anybody here care to explain determinism to the audience and basically why this tournament was canceled?
I'm over that person, but he's fucking pissed.
Well, the shot at it,
the shot of it seems to be that Callie would probably be best.
That the outcomes of the game aren't actually random, but they're like determined, obviously by random number generators. But those can be predictive, the seeds. And apparently those seeds are just tied to the deck lists and the account IDs, so you can just predict whatever is happening.
Basically,
and sometimes it's happening over and over again. Yeah,
they just know how to get like Buffalo every time, or like a certain unit every time.
So you can even manipulate the shops. It's to that extreme.
Yes.
Yeah, you can manipulate shop rules.
And then it wasn't canceled beforehand because the reason because they assumed that account changing would have solved this problem?
Yes. Not many people knew about this beforehand, and it like came up because Rekwar had to play Schliff, and he was like, he didn't want to have that type of battle against him,
Yeah. Damn, that is a damn shame.
That is
it's
super
really sad.
unfortunate.
Didn't want it to go this way, but I was kind of forced to.
Yeah, I can see why.
It is what it is. Like we can't have it. Like that's the thing, is it's not really cheating, but it's manipulating the game in such a way that if not everybody's doing it, it's just not fair.
And it's an unintended mechanic too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was like 5 people who actually knew like the full extent of what you could do with it.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for wasting everyone's time, I guess. I wanted to...
Hey, at least I'm not up till 4 a.m.
It's not a big deal. Like, at least you're trying to put something together. This wouldn't have happened without you, and, like, honestly, this is overall still, like, a positive experience for...
Yeah, it's not like
everybody.
Everything was nullified. It was still a good time today. It was still... Some fun was had, even though we couldn't get a conclusion.
Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed at least what little there was of the tournaments. I'm sure next time it'll be a lot better, to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. Can only get better from here.
No, it was really awesome.
You're the one guy doing it. You're the one guy. I mean, it's fine.
But
they're by yourself.
That's true. All right. Well, thank you all so much.
Does anyone just want to play a bunch of games anyway?
I'm so down. I'm so down. I had my entire night blocked out.
Can anyone tell me what exactly the glitches were? I have no idea.
I have no clue. I don't know it either.
It was a skill thing, I heard.
Yeah, I agree.
So by what Require said, I have no idea myself. I'm messaging Schliff. Maybe he's gonna tell me. I don't know. By what Require said, apparently you can, if you've done enough tests on your account, you can just predict what animals show up in the shop.
Like for 100%. Like no.
Yeah, and you can change the deck lists to manipulate it as well.
Yeah, it's kind of insane.
I heard some rumors too about like someone using a hack client of some sort, but if nobody can give me any actual information about that, I'm just gonna not worry about it.
Record told me that it could have been done, but he he doesn't think anybody did, but it was like something that like could have been done really easily, and it would have been like I was hacking. Not fun for anybody to play.
All right, Valor, if you want to jump into caster voice chat with me, we can just try to find a logical end to this thing.
Yeah, sure thing.
Good luck.
Have a good one, guys.
Okay.
All right. It says you're okay. There we go.
Yeah, sorry, we're just talking to chat for a sec.
No worries. So, yeah, with that, I guess that's all we can say for the tournament for now. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call my stream, but I'd like to give you a virtual handshake for having that. This was awesome.
Alias, it was fantastic to talk with you. I've been a long-time lurker in your streams, and I enjoy... You're like the only person I know who plays Noida, and that's like... I love it. I got introduced to it. I bought Noida because of you, probably.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, I'm glad that Tay got you here and that we had the opportunity to chat and introduce each other.
Yeah, it was awesome. I had an absolute blast, and I hope I didn't like talk over you too much because I'm so afraid of doing like multi-person commentary. It's tough. It's really tough.
Oh, don't you worry. If I felt talked over, I would have talked over you in a vengeance to get my own, you know.
I get you.
Yeah, I hope your chat had a good time, guys. If you don't know Alias, you should give him a follow right now. I'm gonna give him a shout out. You can find his channel here. I believe you're mostly playing Noida, correct? Do you play Super Auto Pets as well? Obviously.
Yep, Noida, Super Auto Pets, Elden Ring is one that I've been playing a lot of.
Oh God, I love Elden Ring, dude.
Tangle is saying check general.
Oh.
Oh man, this looks like it's getting messy.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Wait, what is this?
Oh.
What is this picture?
I hate everything about this picture.
Oh God. Oh. Whoa. Interesting.
Jesus. That is so gross.
That's disgusting, dude. Whoa.
Oh, man.
I didn't realize this game could be exploited to such a extent.
Yeah. I mean, on the bright side, we got to focus on what we saw. And what we saw was some fantastic, honest gameplay between some of the best players to ever do it. And yeah, it was really fun. Like, just because this picture exists doesn't mean that's what was happening in this tournament.
Yeah. It was still a great time. People enjoyed themselves to a great extent.
Yeah, and I'm sure like there was probably a little bit of battle RNG manipulation, but I mean that just kind of happens, right? You can even like sense that sort of thing if you play long enough, right?
Yeah. Big agree there.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. So yeah, I'm gonna call it for now. Are you going to continue?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do some Super Auto Pets viewer lobbies for a bit.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good way to close it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and send everybody over on your end.
All right.
So Valerie.
I appreciate that, man. I
of
thank you for being here. I'm sad that it was cut short, but I hope we can do something again in the future.
Yeah, I mean that sort of thing happens. Oh God, did I spell your name wrong? I think I gotta cancel that. I think I did. Hang on. It's the same as your Discord username, right?
Add an underscore to the end. Yeah, it's Valerie underscore.
Right. That would explain. I'm like, wait a second.
God, I can't wait to get this underscore out of here one day.
Yeah, same thing for me with bot. I gotta get up my name.
Oh yeah, you just want alias?
Yeah, so I was making my account. I was trying to change my username, and I was making my bot the same night, and you know, you can kind of you know, put two and two together. I accidentally made my main account the bot by accident.
Oh no.
Super funny. But yeah, have a good one, and thank you all very much for listening and tuning in. Please go make some noise for Valerie, who's been a fantastic co-host. I'll catch you all later.
Thanks for the great commentary, man. You have a good one.
Yeah, have